Northeast Oregon still has more than 110,000 power outages after an ice storm as the country continues to feel the chill. And another major retailers announced layoffs. Online home store Wayfair says it's cutting about 1,650 jobs, 13% of its global workforce. This is ABC News. Some families of victims in the Uvalde, Texas school shooting are now calling for criminal charges against law enforcement after the Justice Department report on the response to the 2022 massacre where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed.
The DOJ report did reveal new information.
I didn't realize that the scene was compromised, that there was people that shouldn't have been there that were entering the classroom.
After the gunman had been killed, Kimberly Rubio's daughter was one of 21 people who died that day. She says the report confirms much of what she already suspected about the police response.
What we thought is true.
The report calls it a failure.
I hope that the failures end today.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Uvalde, Texas.
Children of color in the U.S. receive worse health care compared to white children. Researchers reviewed dozens of cases and found the strongest disparities in pain management, where non-white kids were less likely to get painkillers for broken bones, appendicitis, or migraines. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
It started off as a normal day. I felt fine when I arrived at the plant.
Ruth Junius's life was about to change.
Then I dropped my keys. They kept slipping out of my hand. My arm felt numb. A coworker asked me if I was okay, and I couldn't speak. I started to get scared.
Ruth was having a stroke. People around her weren't sure what to do.
They thought I should go home or lie down, but I knew something was very wrong. I wrote 911 on a piece of paper with my other hand, and someone called for me.
Because everyone acted quickly, doctors at the hospital were able to give Ruth treatment that started to reverse the symptoms.
Within a few minutes, I was talking again. I didn't know a thing about stroke before I had one. Now I make sure that my friends and family know all the signs of stroke so they'll get help fast if they need it.
No stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. Call 1-800-352-9424 for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
After a murder-suicide earlier this month that left 3 people dead, a Parker nonprofit is helping the family. Dads of Parker are organizing a pancake breakfast tomorrow morning. Part of the money raised will go for a memorial fund to honor the boy who was killed. The rest will go into a trust to support the surviving teenage daughter. Dads of Parker's Alex Lynn.
Taking some off their plate of what, they don't need to be focusing on right now. They need to focus on healing, recovering, and not worry about the financial burdens that they're having to deal with right now.
He tells Fox 31 the fundraiser is tomorrow from 8 to 11 a.m. at the Venture Academy of Leadership and Entrepreneurship on Brookstone Drive in Parker. Colorado changing its universal preschool program. Parents can now pre-register their children for the next school year. Officials say applying for the first round increases the chances of being matched with a desired preschool program. About 62% of all 4-year-olds enrolled last year. The hope is to expand that number this fall. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
A fairly quiet drive throughout the Denver Metro with some busy spots into the downtown area. I-25 northbound showing stop-and-go traffic between 6th and Colfax. Southbound I-25 slower speeds between I-70 and Colfax. I-70 east and westbound and 225 north and southbound. No complaints to and from the DIA area. Out west into the high country. Slow driving continues I-70 westbound between El Rancho and the Veterans Memorial Tunnels. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Another cold one out there today. High 30 degrees. Overnight low of 11. Tomorrow warming up a little bit. Mostly cloudy with a high of 40. The current temperature in Denver is 23 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of the man who made flying paper airplanes his full-time job. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Your pet isn't just a pet, they're part of your family. Most of the pet food on the market is cooked at high temperatures, which kills nutrients. A scoop of Dynavite is a 3-in-1 daily supplement, adding back key nutrients to your pup's health. Try Dynavite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio. That's dynavite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dynavite.
When it comes to selecting a real estate broker, accept no excuses. That's why I endorse this man.
We aggressively go to work for you. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just results.
Frank Duran with RE/MAX Alliance.
You get my team's full support, but I personally negotiate the sale for you when you list your home with me. I'm with you every step of the way.
Go to Frank's website for tips on buying and selling. Frank Duran, the real estate man.com, or call 303-920-1622.
Inflation?
Yeah, I still hate it.
Inflation salvation.
Save me with some cash.
Oh my God!
Keep listening every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for your chance to win $1,000. Just listen for the hourly keyword, then enter it at khow.com. Sponsored by Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys.
Hey, it's Rick Lewis. When you're in a wreck, call the attorneys I trust at Lerner & Rowe. The consultation is free, and they don't charge you a penny until they settle your case.
Call Lerner & Rowe. Those guys are great. Call 303-333-8888.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off. Bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints. Our goal in life is to make your life a little bit better. The show's easy. You've been ripped off. Maybe you got a bad landlord, a bad contractor, a bad anything. How about a bad attorney, a bad doctor? We don't care. We use the power, and I mean that, the power of the media to go after those scumbags that are making your life miserable. It's easy to join in. You got a problem, you got a question, you call 303-713-8255 or 303-MARTINO. That's 303-MARTINO. We have two lines open right now, and I will always let you know when a line's open. Today is car day. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, joins me in studio. Kevin, how's it going, man?
Morning, Tom.
I knew you were going to do that. Oh, Kevin's a funny guy.
Funny.
So, Jeff Fick, what's going on today? Deputy Doc in studio with me. We also have our new deputy sitting around ready to sink his teeth into something. So any problem you have, what we do is we actually reach out to the business or the contractor or to the landlord, whomever it is. We reach out to them and try to get their side of the story, and then we try to figure it out. I'm going to be talking about a particular RV issue a little bit later on that came in yesterday. These guys over at the shop never called me back, but I digress. I'll get into that when I get into it. Water Pros, by the way. Suzanne, who's coming out to our house in the morning?
Water Pros, Saturday, 10:30.
Tomorrow morning, Suzanne's been just bothering me. Yes, I'll say bothering, bugging, whatever you want to call it, for a water softener. We went to, where did we go and you loved it?
Norfolk. It was so good for my hair.
Yeah, so that's why I'm dropping a couple grand.
You guys have pretty hard water out there.
Well, we're on well.
Yeah, we do.
Well, yeah,
so Paul's going to come out. He's going to test it. Yeah, if we buy a system, it'll be like anybody else. There's no trade out. But here's the deal. I'll tell you why I'm calling Paul. I can call all the people out there. Paul's got the best equipment for the least amount of money. I can't put it any other way. You get the best for less with Water Pros. If you want a 100% system for your house that'll soften your water under $2,000, the other people are $4,000 or $5,000. You want something that'll get rid of those forever chemicals, either at a point of use system at your sink, the water you drink, the water your family digests every day, under $1,000. You want one for your whole house, he can do that as well. Paul, the Waterman, the best for less, 303-862-5554. And I'm going to let everybody have an honest review come Monday on what I thought about Paul. I don't know if he's coming out himself or if he's sending his guys out, but they're going to test the water. They're going to show it to us, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do going forward. All right, one more time. Paul, the Waterman, or waterpros.net. Now, 303-713-8255. We have two lines open. Let's jump right into this. And John has a problem getting paid. Hey, John, who owes you the dough, man?
Hey, yeah, this is John, a contractor out of California.
Okay. So what happened? Why does he owe you money? Give me a little backstory.
Well, I've done a lot of work for this contractor, and
where was the work done?
The work was done at King Supers number 69, which is in Aurora. It's basically Buckley Road.
And what kind of work was done?
It's I do remodel work, framing, drywall finish, acoustical ceilings.
So in
and,
store, hold on, in store 69, what did you do? Did you remodel like what? What did you remodel in there?
King Soopers constantly updates their locations, and which location gets updated is only they know.
Okay.
But
what did you do? Did you
the pharmacy?
Hold on a second. Did you do like framing and did you do tile roofing? Just give me the basics. What did you do?
I personally do install all the metal stud framing.
Got it.
The drywall finish, the acoustical ceilings, the wall protection, door frames, sometimes doors.
Wow, you do everything but the finish, it sounds like, man. That's pretty impressive.
Everything except paint.
Yeah,
Everything
that's.
except the paint.
Do you do the texture on the drywall purely out of curiosity?
Yes, I do texture, but no commercial projects.
So on
they all like the smooth finish.
On store 69, how much money or how much time, how much does this contractor that hired you owe you?
I'm saying he owes me $4,374.
Now, why did you say I'm saying? What is he saying?
Because he's saying that I actually owe him $1,800.
Now, how could you got to help us out here, man. That's a big bomb to drop. How could you possibly owe him $1,800 if you did framing, drywall, ceiling, doors, all of that stuff? How could you possibly owe him money according to him?
Because he says he removed me from the job, and that's what it cost him to finish my scope of work that was left undone.
Did he pay you anything for this job?
Oh, yeah.
How much did he pay you?
To date, he's paid me $49,285.
Okay, so I get it. So midway, or how far through the project? 80%. When did he can you?
95% through.
So and why did he get rid of you 95% through?
He said that I failed to show up.
Well, did you or didn't you?
No, I didn't. I was actually working the King Soopers number 80 in Longmont.
Okay, but you were. I guess it really doesn't matter. Did you have a time frame per contract that you were supposed to finish in?
I was meeting their schedule. I was. They scheduled me out of the 5 days. I'll work 3 days at one project and 2 days at the other project.
Now, is this guy canning you from all the jobs at King Soopers? Are you pretty much done with him at this point?
Oh yeah, I've already informed their office.
Okay, and when was the last time? When was the last time you worked at Store 69 for Kroger?
That would be Monday, August 21st.
Oh crap, man! You're way outside of a lane, brother. You are so outside. I don't know what you can do at this point. I mean, this contractor is saying that he had to hire someone else to finish the job. You bid $49,000 or whatever it was. Whatever you bid, it sounds like around $55,000. He says you're not showing up. That's neither here nor there. Plus, it's he said, she said. So at that point, I'm not sure where to go. I don't mind giving this guy a call, but what were you expecting? If this was done within the last 90 or 120 days, depending on if you had just labor or labors and material, you could have leaned King Soopers, and I bet you would have got paid real quick. But you've passed that timeline, Jack.
Well, I've been in contact. I sent you the email string every month about this issue, so I thought we were going to come to a resolution on it. And
what do? They just keep putting you off and off and off?
Well, yeah. If you look at the time frames between, I contacted them with my solution, my resolution.
And what did they
December
contact
22nd.
you back? I'm not staring at the email right now, so tell me, what is the gist of the emails going back and forth?
Well, there's 8 items that make up my contract. My contract was $69,000.
Just skip to the actual part, though. What are they saying they're willing to do, if anything?
Nothing.
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 Okay. I mean, do you want us to try to give him a call? I don't mind trying to give him a call, man. I don't know what good it's going to do.
Is he in California?
Yeah, besides the lien, there's nothing else. I can't sue the company.
Well, sure, you could take him to court. You could sue him in small claims court. That's under $7,500, and it's actually pretty easy to do. I would probably sue King Soopers, though. I wouldn't sue the out-of-state guy because you're going to have to go there and sue him in California, which is going to blow the entire $4,500. So you could take Kroger to court. You could look up their you could look up who is in charge on their Secretary of State page when it comes to service, who's their registered agent. Then you simply download triplicate forms, you fill them out, and you go file it in whatever county that King Soopers is in. And I bet that could do it. Just because you can't lien the property and you're outside of the statute of limitations there doesn't mean you can't go after your money. Doesn't mean you can't prove you didn't do the job. Doesn't mean that King Soopers didn't get betterment. And that's really where this goes down to. If I take you at your words, you did the work and they still owe you this much money, even though you didn't finish the job. Is that correct? In other words, even though you left, they still owe you this much money for the work you did.
That's correct.
Yeah, so that's what I do. And by taking King Soopers to court, what's going to happen is they're going to reach out to this contractor in California and say, make this go away or your business with us is going to go away. That's how I see that going down.
Okay. I did talk with a lawyer about it, free consultation, and he basically said the same thing you said. Or that you're telling me. So
yeah, that's what I do, and it's only going to cost you $55. And what you're really doing is targeting the big dog, man. You're targeting Kroger, and what they're going to do is put pressure on this guy to pay you. They're not going to care about $4,500, and quite frankly, the guy in California is not going to care about $4,500 if Kroger is threatening to pull the business from him. You got to stick it to him, man. I'm sick and tired of the little guy getting screwed over by big corporations. It's not right. And there is ways to fight back. Suzanne, how many big companies, don't mention any names because I sign agreements with them when they're done. How many big companies, national companies, have I taken to small claims court in the past 5 years? Just a guess.
Just a dozen, 20, I don't know.
Probably 20. Ask me how many times, Kevin, I didn't get exactly what I wanted.
How many?
0. I get what I want every single time.
They don't want to play.
No,
Mark,
and here's the best part. Hold on, Doc.
Guy.
Here's what it does. It gets their attention. Frontier Airlines, I'll give you an example. It has nothing to do with the lawsuit against them, but they don't have phone support anymore. Sometimes when you're talking on their chat, you might as well just put your head in a hole and jump off a cliff all at the same time, because that's what you'll feel like when you're done with their chat. So the only way to talk to someone at Frontier is to what? You sue them. You make them answer. Next thing you know, you're getting paid. We've got a lot going on.
But
John,
Mark,
Emily, Carolyn, Gary.
Kroger's not the bad guy.
Yeah, they are the bad guy. He did work at Kroger and he's not getting paid, Doc. I don't. Why do you say they're not the bad guy?
Because I think the contractor's the bad guy.
Okay, so big deal. The contractor's in California. The bad guy. Who did this guy improve? Who did he improve?
Kroger may not even know.
Listen, Doc. Whose property did he improve?
All I'm
Kroger.
saying is,
Who got the benefit?
Kroger may not know. He
Oh
didn't
my
get paid.
God. Well, okay, maybe Kroger doesn't. When he sues them, they'll know. When he sues them, they'll know. Hold tight.
Everyone envisions a life of zero debt in a paid-off home. Unfortunately, very few get to realize that dream as they're burdened with 30 years of mortgage debt. Luckily, there's now a better way. Life Changer loan clients are experiencing the American dream by getting their house and all their debts paid off in less than 10 years without changing a dime of spending habit. The future of banking and mortgage are here. It's not magic, it's just math. LifeChangerLoan.com. That's LifeChangerLoan.com.
Life Changer Loan Corp is a licensed Colorado mortgage company. NMLS 1863775. Life Changer Loan Corp is an equal housing lender.
Man, you want the best looking countertops out there like Suzanne and I got? You call the Art of Granite. Did you know Mitch Floria, the owner, can give you a quote right over the phone? A few pictures, a few measurements. You can pick out granite, quartz, all natural stone, man-made materials. They come out, they laser scope it. They cut out that format. They just do the best job you've ever seen. You want the best countertops? It's simple as that. TheArtofGranite.com. TheArtofGranite.com. 20% off this month only. TheArtofGranite.com. It is Car Day. I want to tell you about a new sponsor we have. RKC Automotive, 2120 West Evans. These guys work on everything out there. Domestics, imports, old cars, new cars, everything from major engine work and transmissions to brakes and electronics, big and small. They do it all. Check them out, 720-749-3965. They're open Saturdays, 720-749-3965.
Yo. Got it. RCK, RKC, whatever.
That was my bad. We got double spot.
Na, 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 na.
Lord have a mercy. No emulsifiers, no soaps.
Where's Tommy today?
I don't know.
He got 3 vaccines
Mark,
and is sick. Mark,
If
can you hear
Cole
me?
didn't know that he didn't get paid. That's all I'm saying.
He could call corporate.
I'm not arguing, but you're telling him what to do to resolve it.
Yes, and I'm telling you how to resolve it. You sue their fucking ass. That'll get the attention, Doc, of the other guy.
But they may not. They don't know he didn't
They
get paid.
don't.
They don't have to know.
Doc, they don't know him from fucking Adam.
Right.
All they do is pay the contractor that pays him.
Right.
He's going to say, "Hey, King Supers, you owe me money." They're going to say, "Show me a contract. Show me fucking something."
Show me your
King
money.
Supers, the
100%.
first thing they'll do is pick up the phone and call the contractor, tell him to sell
All I'm
it.
saying is, before he notifies them, they're not the bad guy.
They are the fucking bad guy. He needs to get paid. You know, I know what you're saying. They're not the bad guy. They're not the ones that have intentionally done this.
Right.
But none of that fucking matters. The guy needs
Yep,
to get
John
paid.
Libby, 3 vaccines and got sick. He got the pneumonia, the Prevnar, whatever that is, the shingles, and then there was one more. What did he say? And he did say we're allowed to talk about it. He wanted to know if anyone else got sick like that.
He got the...
He was sick like immediately. Okay, the RSV, the pneumonia, Prevnar, and the shingles.
No, you forgot one.
Those are the 3 he did.
He got the
texted.
herpes. He got the herpes vaccine,
He's
I heard.
too old to get the herpes
He got
vaccine.
the herpes.
No, as soon as I told you my girlfriend got those, she was sick for 2
I'll
days.
tell Tommy. He wanted to know if anyone else.
Knocked her on her ass.
Well, what can I say?
That's right, Savvy.
I bet he got... he's probably got the COVID. He's not saying.
Who, Tommy?
Yeah.
There's an RSV vaccine for older people, I guess. I'm shocked you're not knowing this. You're a pharmacy girl, aren't you?
I think my dad got that one.
RSV. I'm not big on vaccines, so I don't know.
I don't even know what it is anymore because with the new definition, it could be nothing.
Yep.
It could literally be nothing. Doesn't stop you from getting it. Doesn't stop you from spreading it. We just charge $50 for it.
Right, and it may lessen the symptoms. if
Oh,
in fact you
Savvy
do get
says shingles is herpes. I didn't know that, Savvy.
Yeah.
I thought it was chickenpox.
Well, you weren't listening to Dr. Mark, were you?
The Dr. Love knows about herpes.
I can gladly say I never had a venereal disease.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Suze would let you know.
Hey, Doc, what happens if a woman, you delivered a ton of babies, what happens if a woman has herpes? Will the baby get herpes?
Then you do a C-section if it's active herpes.
What does that mean?
That means you just do a cesarean
Oh, you're
section.
like, if they break out or whatever.
If they have active herpes, you do a C-section.
gotcha,
Or else
Savvy.
the kid will get it.
Yeah.
But if they're in remission,
Then
you
don't
still
have to-
try to do a C-section.
No, then as long as it's in remission, you don't have to do anything.
Okay. Boy, the things we talk about.
I'm telling you.
Holy cazzoles.
It's really confusing in that head.
Mark, I put the house spot under the lives for you.
Yep. It was so hot. When women came in and they have a herpes infection,
Line 3 is a good
they
call.
want to
Okay.
know how do I get it.
What are we doing with John?
The
Is he
only way
done?
they got
I'm going to finish him up
was
real
from
quick.
their
Okay,
husband.
you're going to finish him up.
And they didn't know the husband was cheating.
I'm going to have
on
Shannon finishing him off.
them. So you have to.
Shannon, can you get him to
doesn't
reach
find us
around?
funny today.
Yeah, not a lot of sleep. Here we go.
How?
All right, 303-713-8255, 888heating.com. I'm going to tell you straight up what I love about these guys when it comes to HVAC. They give you all the options. Let's say your heater breaks, the blower's not working. I don't know, it's just not working. You hit the button, it doesn't turn on, there's no heat. These guys come out, they're not one of these companies. Oh, we're going to make you buy a new one. It's 10, 15, 20 years old. Time to buy a new one. Bah! None of that crap. None of that arm twisting. You know what they're going to do? You want a price on a new service, or I'm sorry, on a new system, they're going to give it to you. You want a price on fixing that one you have, because maybe you don't have the dough for a new system right now, they're going to give you that as well. Great pricing. They have high efficiency boiler systems. They have anything you need for your house HVAC-wise. Check them out at 888heating.com. Now, I'm going to finish up real quick with John. John, here's the deal, man. I want you to do exactly what I said. You sue King Soopers, Store 69, and you're going to end up getting paid most likely. You got it?
Hey, Mark, real quick.
Yep.
I appreciate your time. I am on the SOS website, and there is no registered agent for King Soopers.
Well, it's going to be Kroger, brother.
There is no entry for Kroger.
I guarantee there's an entry for Kroger. I guarantee there's an entry for Kroger. Okay, hold on. Let's do this.
Look at it.
I'm going to look next break. Hold on. Let's free this line up. You keep listening to the show, and I will tell you how to find it, okay?
I have his
Thank you. I
email
appreciate
too. I
that.
can send it to him when we do find it.
Yeah, we'll dig it up. I really want you. Listen, man. Listen, John. I really want you to keep in touch with us because we give out this advice a lot. In fact, if you go to YouTube and type in Troubleshooter Network, you can watch the live show. Right now you can watch and see everything going on, hear the conversations behind the scenes during the breaks. But a lot of people say, oh, you guys say small claims court a lot. Here's the problem. Most people don't follow through with it. You're talking $4,500 and your risk factor is maybe a couple hours of your time and $55. You're insane not to do it. So keep in touch. If you have questions, and then I'll let you finish up, John. If you have any questions when you get the paperwork, I can't give you legal advice because I'm not an attorney, but I'll give you practical advice because I've done it so many times. Go ahead, John.
That sounds great. On another issue, I just wanted to give a shout out to Advanced Transmissions up here in Westminster.
Oh, yeah,
Good
they're
guys.
great guys.
Got John, the guy in there. They rebuilt my transmission and did a great job doing it. So, highly recommend it.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you. One line open, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino.
Maybe you address this, but he can't serve the store itself. You got to go through the registered agent.
No, you could serve the store, no problem. In that circumstance, yes, you could serve the store. The registered agent is probably going to be easier and quicker to get it to corporate. So, and I would assume that's going to be right in downtown Littleton like most of them. But I'll find that for you over the break, John. So you hold tight. Now, Emily's got a problem. One line open. Bad landlord, bad contractor. Let's go after these guys. I want to go after these guys and recoup money for you today. Emily, what's going on with an HP warranty issue?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I purchased an HP laptop with a 3-year extended warranty, and Hewlett-Packard agrees that they sent me a defective device. Hewlett-Packard agrees that they need to repair it. I sent it in once for repairs, and they didn't repair it, and they agree that they did not do the proper repairs. Hewlett-Packard then sent a box for me to send the computer back to them to get it re-repaired, but they sent the box to the wrong address 3 times. They then told me to go to the local Best Buy as an authorized service provider to have Best Buy fix it. Like, great, they're right down the street, and Best Buy did a great job with what they could do. Unfortunately, when I went to Best Buy, HP refused to authorize the repairs at Best Buy.
What did Best Buy? Hey, hold on, hold on, Emily. We've got a lot going on here. When did you buy this, and where did you buy it?
I bought it directly from Hewlett-Packard on their website in December 2022.
December 2022, and you have something saying you have a 3rd-year extended warranty on the receipt.
Yes, and Hewlett-Packard agrees.
That's fine. That's great. So when you sent it into HP the first time, what was going on with it? Not what did they say they were going to do, but what were the symptoms? Why did you send it in?
Well, just very visually, you could see that the backlight on the keyboard was not working on half the keyboard.
Okay.
And actually, that half of the keyboard didn't type correctly.
Okay,
and there
so
was
you sent it in, and then they sent it back to you, and it was still the exact same way?
Interestingly enough, they replaced the touchpad. There was no problem with the touchpad. And they actually put in their notes that they were supposed to repair the keyboard, but they didn't even touch the keyboard.
Did you send it back in after that fiasco?
I attempted to. I exchanged emails with HP. They agreed, wow, we should have fixed the keyboard. We didn't. I actually have that in writing. And that's when they then resent their box, because they send a box to you.
And they
then you
sent
put
it to the
in their
wrong
box.
place multiple times.
Yes.
And then they said go to Best Buy. What did Best Buy say needed to be done to the laptop itself? Switch out the keyboard?
Yeah, they said, well, they can't even look at the computer.
Why?
To assess. I mean, they can see visually that the backlight on the keyboard.
No, but what do you mean they can't even look at it? What does that mean? They can't fix it?
They have not received authorization from Hewlett-Packard to fix it. So I would have to pay
So when you
$85 right.
When you call up HP and say, hey, I brought it over to Best Buy like you guys said, they're waiting for authorization. What does HP tell you?
They tell me to go back to Best Buy.
And then what? Then you go back and they still haven't had authorization.
Correct.
This sounds too crazy. In other words, it just sounds like both companies have no idea what the other one's trying to do. What Best Buy is it at?
Right now it's in my possession, but I've worked with the Boulder Best Buy, and frankly, they worked with me for 2 hours. We sat there on the phone with Hewlett-Packard for 2 hours, and I think that they did everything that they could possibly do.
Well, why, if they were on, if they were on the phone for 2 hours, why couldn't they get authorization to get this done?
We kept being put on hold, and then Hewlett-Packard would transfer us to a different department, and we were transferred to 9 departments. And at the end of the call, they said, oh, we're going to ship you a box. And then when I got home, Hewlett-Packard called me and said, no, we're not going to ship you a box. Go back to Best Buy. I go back to Best Buy. Best Buy said, we still don't have authorization. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I can't keep going back and forth.
Oh, my God, this sounds like a total nightmare. I mean, this sounds unbelievable.
Well, what does it cost to fix? I mean, how big a repair is it?
It's got to be just the keyboard or the backlighting. It can't be much.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why HP is giving you the runaround on something this stupid.
It's
Hold
silly.
on. Let me think about this one. Hold tight.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
A fairly calm drive throughout the metro area. I-25 north and southbound back to highway speeds through town. Heading to DIA, I-70 east and westbound, and 225 north and southbound showing intended speeds. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound. Slow driving between El Rancho and the Veterans Memorial Tunnel due to wintry road conditions. Back to town, heading to Boulder, Highway 36 east and westbound, flowing free. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, a little bit cooler than yesterday. High of 30 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, more clouds, but a little bit warmer. High of 40, even warmer on Sunday. High 52. The current temperature in Denver is 23 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of the man who made flying paper airplanes his full-time job. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
MyMoneyMyWay.com. You know, I called up Joe. I said, Joe, if I put $125,000 into that annuity you talk about that's got the 15% bonus, how much is that going to be worth in a year? He said, Mark, that 125 is going to be 150. I said, how about in 12 years when I might want to retire? He goes, that's going to be worth over $550,000, and you can take that in a lump sum or take a paycheck for life. Think about that. Guaranteed results, no ups and downs. Take the lump sum when you retire or take a paycheck for life. MyMoneyMyWay.com.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck. Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you want the most money, call the agent that I would call, Troy Hansford. Troy sells more houses for more money than anyone in Denver.
Kroger, I sent it to him.
Oh, we had a Kroger expert?
No, I found the Kroger registered agent on SOS.
What wasn't he seeing?
Well, it's you got to type in Kroger Company, and what I did was cross-reference their address on registered agent with their corporate office in Ohio, so I knew it was them because there's a lot of Kroger stuff there.
I'm going to have you say that.
And
when
it
you
is
come
in
back.
Littleton, just so you know.
They're always in
Yeah.
Littleton. Those big ones are always in Littleton.
Mm-hmm.
I have served that place in
Troubleshooter
Littleton.
Show, what is
it's
your
so
first
easy,
name?
too. You walk in, you put it in a basket, and you leave.
Wow.
You don't have to find anybody.
He did some drywall work.
Till we were dead and gone and buried.
Yeah.
Dead and gone and buried. Taylor Swift is a devil. She's Satan.
That poor girl gets more good press and bad press just by being. That's amazing.
She's Satan.
On the license plate.
She screwed up the goddamn.
Oh, yes. My guy said, no, I still have
She's
your
the devil,
information.
I
Even
say.
I'll give you a call
I
back.
say she's the
company
devil.
that does that for us, they had a flood in their office.
We had a neighbor,
and it messed
man.
up their
He
computers.
broke into that shit
so
on
they
a
have
fucking
to restore all
New
that
Year's-
before we can
New Year's
find
Eve
it.
or
And I
Christmas
have all your
get-together a few
information
weeks
for when
ago.
we get it, okay, Eva?
Taylor Swift's a devil. He was dead serious. He also said no one went to the moon. Nope, no flag on the moon. He goes, show me a telescope that can see
I'll
it.
tell
I said,
him,
well, I don't know if there's
Eva.
a fucking telescope that can see it, but I'm pretty sure
good,
we've been
good,
to the moon.
Okay. Well, listen, I will give you
And
a
what
call
are they?
back
What
as
are all
soon
these
as I hear.
non-moon people
I
going to
know,
believe
gosh.
when one of these private ships lands there anytime
Yeah.
and there's another picture?
Hopefully we
Is
have
that all phony baloney
information
too?
for you soon. I've got a call coming in. I'm going to let you go, Eva,
So,
darling.
His wife believes that.
Okay.
His wife believes
Okay,
that
bye.
we've never been to the moon. And his
Troubleshooter
wife
show, what is your
believes,
first
you ready
name?
for this? That Taylor Swift's the devil.
Oh, hey,
okay?
Frank, hang on a minute,
But
okay? I'm going to tell
where they
Mark
part
you're on. I'm gonna
company
try
as
to-
husband and
he's
wife.
just started
He's
a
a
call,
flat
and then
earther.
he'll go to Caroline, okay?
She thinks that's ridiculous.
Okay, thank you,
How
Frank.
can anybody in 2024
Our expert's on, so after he
believe in a
finishes
flat
up with this Hewlett
crazy.
Packard call, you'll be on, okay, Caroline?
It's like
There's somebody
Thank
I
you.
know, I don't want to say
Hey, Mark.
who, is strongly believes
babe.
at the World Trade
Real
Center.
quick, I have Frank Duran on. You can finish up with Hewlett, the Hewlett call.
Yeah.
But C line 3, the once out of a house sale contract.
Yes.
So her husband died in December.
Yep.
And she got desperate because she didn't have any money
I
or
got
enough
it.
money. So she agreed to sell her house for $300,000 on paper.
Oh,
then
shit.
realizes it's worth $400,000 and she wants out of the contract. So I got Frank Duran
That
on for
poor
that.
woman.
Mark,
Okay.
can we mark that as a house spot once you have him on?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Frank
That
knows he's
sucks.
holding, so finish up with Hewlett. Let's
I
stay
will.
organized.
I just think once you go down the road,
For line 3,
Damn it. This poor woman.
I know it's sad. She said they didn't have enough Social Security for her to live on after her husband died December 21st.
I know someone that
Troubleshooter show,
left
please hold a minute.
left $500,000 on the table. $500,000.
because they just didn't know.
And I told him. I fucking warned him. $500,000.
How'd that happen?
I'll tell the story right before I go to this lady, or right after. It was crazy. Same deal. He signed a contract. It was for a building. I own the building, and I was basically getting ready to foreclose on him, so he had to sell it. And I told him, I said, you're listening too low, brother. I said, I'm not going to foreclose on you right now. You've been making your payments. I'm giving you plenty of time. As long as I get my interest-only money each month, we're good. But you need to start looking because I'm done holding the note on this. So he got it listed and sold it for about $2 million. I think it was $2,100,000. Got it signed, contract signed, everything. I sold it to him for 1.6 or 1.7. So he made 400. I said that's way too low, Jack. And sure enough, not even 3 days after he signed that contract, someone came in at 2.6. He hired an attorney. He did everything in the world he could imagine to get out of it. Couldn't get out of it. They'd go after him for specific damages. He would have been screwed. All right, 303-713-8255. A ton going on. I'm going to finish up with Emily. Emily, I was talking to Deputy Doc. Deputy Doc, you said you're going to go make a call, and you bet one call to HP, Hewlett Packard, to their media people.
If I can get in touch with the media people.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. Emily, we're going to grab your information. I think Suzanne has it. If not, she'll get it. And Deputy Doc is going to call you in a few minutes, and you guys are going to do a three-way conversation. We're going to try to do what we call a media blitz. Instead of trying to go through the standard channels of getting through, which you have done a million times, and that doesn't seem to work, we're going to go directly to the media department and say, hey, we're talking about this on the air. What are you guys, Sears? I mean, for the life of me, how come you can't cover a warranty? Remember when Sears started going out, guys? How many calls did we get on Craftsman and Kenmore and all this crap? I don't know. In fact, I got to be honest, I didn't even know HP, with the exception of printers. I mean, are they still relevant? Do you guys know?
I have an HP laptop, but I've had it for a little while.
God, I see Lenovo, which I think is IBM.
Well, you know, Costco sells HP.
Dell seems to be the big one.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, but Caroline, hold tight. Doc's going to call you, okay?
Sounds good.
All
Thanks
right.
so much.
Yeah, you hold tight. I want to follow up on this too. When this gets solved and it gets fixed, Doc, put the Indian burn on him, brother. Can I even say that anymore? Are you allowed to say
got
it? Shannon, do I get bleeped when I say Indian burn? I mean, is that something you're not supposed to say? I just thought of that. I have no idea. My dad used to give me Indian burns. Hell, I was an Indian guide. Most people are in Boy Scouts. I grew up on the East Coast like you, Kevin. I was an Indian guide.
That's you. Yeah. No, we gave her, my brothers and I, we traded them all the time.
Yeah, Indian burns.
Yeah.
Noogies, Indian
Noogies,
burns.
yeah.
What other ones? What else?
You can't say Indian giver.
What are the belly rubs? Those things hurt like hell.
Pink belly.
Pink bellies.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, 303-713-8255. We'll have one line open in a second. Let's go to a car question. It's car day. We got Sheridan Auto Tech, Uncle Kevin with us. Oh, I'm sorry, Gary, I promise I'm going to go to you right after this because we have one of our experts up, Frank Duran, the real estate man, for this call. Suzanne kind of knew what was going on and got him up. But let's figure out what Caroline's exact issue is. Caroline, go ahead.
Yes, I first of all, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
My husband passed away on December 21st.
I am so sorry to hear that. What did he die from?
Cancer. He had esophagus cancer.
I got you. And that was just like a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they, when he died, they took his Social Security away.
Well, you
and
should
his
get, hold
pension.
on. I want to make sure you're getting everything you should get. You should get spouse benefits, which would be half of his Social Security, unless you're already receiving Social Security. That would be more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you're good
and
there.
They are working on getting that back. But at the time, our income, mine and my disabled son, our income had been brought down to $2,100 a month.
And where did that come from? Social Security, disability, and what?
It was both of us on disability.
Okay, you've got it. How much did your husband get in Social Security? And I'm not glancing over your problem. I just want to make sure you get what's due to you. How much was your husband's?
I think he was getting like $1,800, and my son gets part of that. And I
don't know. I don't know if you'll get part of that or not. I thought maybe it was around $5,000 or $6,000. But let's move on. So what's going on with the house?
Okay, well, I got scared because
your husband just died. You've got bills that are more than your monthly income. I'd be scared too.
So I looked for a place that would buy as is homes because it needs work, and I came across this company. Hello? Well,
yes.
Hello?
Yes.
I came across this company, and it's called Trusted something Homes.
Is it here in Colorado?
No, they're in Florida, and it was Trusted Capital Homes.
Where is the property? Is it Colorado or is it Florida?
My house is in Colorado. We're in Golden.
So you found this company out of Florida that buys homes. It sounds like a company that will come in, make you an offer, and write you a check pretty quick.
Yeah, except for they offered me $300,000, and like I said, I was under duress. I was scared, and I just was trying to do at the time what I thought was best for my son and I.
So what did you do? You signed a contract to sell it for $300,000 to this company?
Yes, and I did this over the phone.
Well, how did you sign?
Over the phone.
Wait a minute. How did you sign anything over the phone? Did they send you documents into your email?
Yes.
Okay. So you did a DocuSign. You did it over the phone. That's one question I'll ask Frank in a minute. I'm a little curious because it was Florida to hear. But so what happened after that? You signed it, you sold it, and then you had second thoughts. When did you have second thoughts?
Well, because everyone was telling me
No,
that.
not why. When?
Oh, when?
Yeah.
It was like almost right after. I started sending them emails that said, that my home address was not for sale, and I'm not selling.
So when you
And-
say right after, I'm just curious here, Suzanne, we're going to get Frank up, but we might also want to get our attorney, Bradley O'Brien, because I've got a few questions on this. If she sold this all over the phone, basically, and then through a DocuSign, when you said you immediately emailed them rescinding, what did you email them? Do you have copies of those emails?
Yeah, I have, I think 3 of them.
And they were sent within, let's say, 72 hours?
Yes, I made sure to send them. And
okay, and where does it? You're fine. I don't mean to just talk over you, but I got to kind of get through a few things because Frank's listening. So when you sent these emails basically saying, I don't want to do this, I want to cancel, and we'll look at those emails and get a legal opinion on those. But what did they reply? Did they ever even reply to those emails?
The only reply they ever sent was they would just send back the contract. That was it.
So they basically, hold on, they sent back the signed contract going, well, too bad, so sad. I mean, they didn't say that, but that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is horrible. Hold tight. So it sounds like the home, she got snookered out of about $100,000 is what it sounds like, instead of 400. Although we don't know that. We don't know the condition of this house. We don't know much. But she's convinced that there's $400,000 there, and they're only giving her 3, and she wants out of the contract.
Why did she rescind? Let's find out.
Well, because she said she found out, first of all, she still wants to live there, and she found out the house is over $400,000 is what it's worth. Here's the deal. Can she get out with the emails she sent within 72 hours? Is there any other way to get out of this? We're going to talk to Bradley O'Brien, but first, Frank Duran, the real estate man, right after this. By the way, 2 lines open, 303 Martino, 303-713-TALK.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Ben Ferguson Podcast.
A fairly calm drive throughout the metro area. I-25 north and southbound back to highway speeds through town. Heading to DIA, I-70 east and westbound, and 225 north and southbound showing intended speeds. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound. Slow driving between El Rancho and the Veterans Memorial Tunnel due to wintry road conditions. Back to town, heading to Boulder, Highway 36 east and westbound, flowing free. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, a little bit cooler than yesterday. High of 30 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Overnight, low of 11. Tomorrow, more clouds, but a little bit warmer. High of 40, even warmer on Sunday. High 52. The current temperature in Denver is 23 degrees. With your Impact Traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
The Biden crime family is still under serious scrutiny. The media is not covering it, but the Ben Ferguson Podcast is. We'll have the latest breaking news on everything around the Biden investigation. So download the Ben Ferguson Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
TheArtofGranite.com. Not only can you get the most beautiful new granite countertops or quartz or whatever you want, any hard or man-made thing, but right now, 20% off labor. And you know something else? I'm going to tell you a secret what Mitch Floria does. He gives you the countertops at wholesale. You buy them at wholesale prices. So when you buy the granite from him, you're getting a wholesale price. He just charges labor, and right now, 20% off. You want that beautiful new kitchen, that beautiful new bathroom, go to theartofgranite.com. He can give you an estimate right over the phone, theartofgranite.com.
Worrying about those upcoming credit card bills? Well,
basically.
What was it? What basketball game?
CU.
Women's or men's?
They look like men, but I'm not going to judge.
I'm so out of touch with basketball. I
What?
know nothing.
What do you say?
His basketball team looked like men.
Oh, I don't
women,
know.
he wasn't sure.
Well, I just don't want to judge. It was kids playing with their balls, so I assume it was the men's team.
I'll call Emily as soon as I'm just really curious about this house bit.
What's who's the GM over at Fix It? Someone help me.
His Adam, is it?
Adam, thank you.
Thank you for getting that over to him. I didn't have his email.
I know I always get them mixed up too. George.
Tell Adam the guy was really happy after they did come out, but was very unhappy of how it was handled. No. Oh, God.
Now what?
I don't know.
I like that dude, by the way. Adam.
Who?
Adam.
Oh, you do?
He's grown on me.
Somebody said, hey, Mark, he goes, I may be wrong, but I think a spouse needs to be at least 60 to receive half of his Social Security.
I don't know about that, but I don't think it matters because she's on Social Security disability. I always wondered, so Shannon might be able to answer this. Shannon, if you were married.
To a woman?
To a woman or a man, it doesn't matter. And they were getting the bulk of the Social Security. Let's say they topped out. They're getting $5-6 grand a month, whatever it is. And they croaked. Would you consider putting them in a deep freeze and collecting the checks for the next 10 years?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Just clarify. Just clarify.
Way beyond consider. Yeah, he's planning.
That's funny.
He's like, are you sure I haven't?
Mark,
Yeah.
Mark, did you do 888? If so, I missed it.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
I'm sorry, you keep missing her. She was just here.
Okay, let me do another one.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
Hey,
we're
Suze?
doing Frank. Okay.
Suze,
Yo,
I'll come in and get Emily's stuff after. I just want to hear the resolution.
I emailed you her information.
Yeah, I just want to hear the resolution of Caroline's issue.
And then I do want to get Bradley O'Brien after the break.
I texted him a heads up.
What do you say?
Oh, shoot. It's all on.
He's an
Picking up everything I'm saying now. Hang on.
He's
He
an
hasn't
attorney
answered.
on Friday.
Oh, good luck.
You remember you a Seinfeld guy?
Yep.
Crazy Joe Davola. He was waiting outside to kick Jerry's ass,
Kevin,
and there's a cop
text
in the
you what
diner.
I built.
And the cop's like, all right, hold on, I'll walk you out. Let me just get a donut. And then he orders a sandwich, and Jerry's all pissed. Crazy Joe Davola.
I got to show Kevin the Lego set, the Seinfeld Lego set I built for you. Here and here. It only took me like 12 hours.
Yeah, the only I could never stand was Newman.
Newman?
Newman.
This is next to impossible. Oh,
That was close.
That was as close as it gets.
So I'm going to try a new brisket method.
What are you going to do?
Cook it all straight.
Oh, you told me that. No wrap.
No, and at the end, put a bunch of tallow down in the foil and wrap it and let it just drop down to 140, and then you're done.
That sounds good.
Yeah, the guy, I was watching a video on it, and he put quite a bit of tallow in there, and it was all gone by the time it cooled
Just
down.
sucked it in.
Just sucked it right in.
We're doing a party for my dad's 80th next week, and I got
We're doing
Dickies. I'm
Dickies.
hoping they're good. I haven't had Dickies barbecue for like 10 years.
I've had it. It's good. It used to be hit and miss, but that was kind of through COVID too. So maybe it's improved. If you're catering though, they'll probably step it up and do it,
Eric?
fresh.
They better.
Oh, I'm at the studio. Hold on for a second. I gotta get out of the room.
I thought she'd wheel in a big stick burner or something, one of them trailer ones, and barbecue everything.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. We have two lines open. We got 3 hours to go. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. Maybe you just need some good advice. We have a list of people at referralist.com. That's absolutely amazing. We have financial people, attorneys of all kinds. Right now, though, I want to focus on Caroline. This is horrible. Her husband just died December. Just died like a month ago. She got a little scared, let's just put it. Her husband had Social Security coming in at about $2,000 a month. She's got some from disability. They also have a disabled son that lives with her. So she panicked. She decided to sell the house. She put it up. She reached out to a company in Florida. We're not quite sure the name of it, but we're going to get there. And what happened was she signed all the DocuSigns they sent through email to sell it for $300,000. And Caroline, Deputy Doc did ask a question, and I do want to clarify it. Why did you decide that you want out of this deal anyhow? Because the number was too low, or you want to stay and live in the house, or both?
Both.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's fine. That's all I need right there. Now, I'm going to bring up one of our experts and a good friend of mine, Frank Duran, the real estate man. Frank, first of all, good morning. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, my friend. It's good to hear from you. I'm doing great. Just been on the run, Mark. You know how it is.
Yeah, I love talking to you. Help me out here, man. So when someone signs, let's stick to basics when it comes to everybody. If someone signs a DocuSign to sell their house, just like when you sold our house in Castle Rock, we did everything by DocuSign. Is there a right to get out of that contract for 72 hours? We're not talking about a lender involved. I realize with a lender you can, but on the actual property sale, is there any term to get out of the contract if you have second thoughts on it?
Mark, great question. There's typically not unless there's something specifically added, but I will say this. Some of these out-of-state places that purchase properties with cash,
yep,
some of them will have an addendum, and this is where this is going to be key. Caroline, I'm so sorry this happened, Caroline. I'm so sorry about your husband, too. The thing about this is some of these guys put addendums in there, and not all of them, but some of them, and I've seen these addendums where they say something to the effect like, we're an investor, and the seller's aware that we may not be buying this home at market value. They might have an addendum like that. So it's all going to come back to what the paperwork says and ultimately what was agreed to. And, of course, and I think Brad O'Brien is a great person to talk to just in case there's something here beyond what we're knowing right now.
Man, I don't like this one bit. You know what I call them? And I'm not saying, okay, this is an opinion. I want to see that contract. So first of all, let me ask you this. Caroline, can you send us over that agreement in email so we can send it over to our attorney before we get him on?
Right now?
Well, that would be great if you can you?
Yeah, hold on just a second, okay?
Wait, no, not like right now, meaning this second, but when I put you on hold again. I would really like to get that. Suzanne will tell you what email to send that to, but I don't like how this went down. I have an opinion of companies like this that's predatory, and a lot of them are out of Florida. What I really don't like about this is how it went down right after our husband died. But let's get a legal opinion on this, and then we can always reach out to them, because let me tell you, even if they didn't do anything legally wrong, I have got no problem warning people of what they do and who they do it to. So let's do this. Frank, I appreciate it too. When we get the copy of that contract, I'm going to send it over to you as well, okay?
Absolutely.
And I'd appreciate you eyeballing it and just giving some thoughts on it, and then we can kind of go there. I'm really hoping we can help her out. This poor woman, she lost her husband. Now she's going to be moving out because she made a dumb decision. It is on you, Caroline, but at the same time, I feel for you. We're going to try to help you out. No promises. In fact, I think it's like maybe a 10% that we're going to figure something out, but we'll give it every opportunity we can to try to help you. Now, 303-713-8255. We got a break coming up. We're going to go to a question right after that that's got a smog issue on his 2016 diesel truck, and I assume it got recalled or something, according to here. So we're going to figure that out, and we got a lot more. 303 Martino. Tell everybody. You can also email us at help, H-E-L-P, at troubleshooter.com. But if you want your pound of flesh, now is the time to call 303 Martino.
The SOTA weight loss system, SOTA, it stands for state of the art. It's an art and it's a science. It's a science in the sense that SOTA really knows what works. And if you follow the program, you will lose the
mac and cheese.
Okay, let me give you the email to send that over to, and then our attorney should be available here. Oops,
coleslaw,
in just a couple minutes.
And another mac and cheese.
It's help at Troubleshooter.
No, I wasn't. If you were saying was I
just kidding. Yeah, I wouldn't do it either.
No.
Can you send it while you hold, or do you need to hang up?
No.
Okay.
Plus, everybody's like 80. It's like
yes,
coming
and
here
Caroline,
a lot.
Why don't you give me your number in case we lose you for some reason?
Does your dad live in Colorado still?
No, he's been in Florida for 10 plus. I don't even know.
Did you say 655-7693?
He's in Leesdale, which is
okay,
right
I'm going to put you on
outside
hold.
of,
It's help at troubleshooter.com. If for some reason we lose you, I'll call you back. But just hang on. Thank you, darling.
My mom moved out a couple years ago now, and she's still. I don't know if that's a good idea.
To where? Because she's so far.
Well,
Gary, you shouldn't be much longer. Hang on.
Because I got a brother in New York and one in Connecticut, so they're fairly close.
Got it.
But she's just a stubborn old bat. She wants to do her own thing, and she can't. But she was having trouble down there with anxieties and different things.
Yeah, that sucks. Does she keep herself busy?
Yeah, she's fighting it still in the place she's living. It's assisted living, but there's more or less just an apartment, and she can go down and get cafeteria food.
That's how my grandmother. She was in one, and then as they get progressively worse, they have other stages, which is kind of depressing. But
yeah, waiting to move over to stage 2.
She fell down in stage 1, if you will.
720.
And she was kind of independent, like you were saying. She fell in the bathtub, and she was never the same. She moved from. She was in the bathtub with some cold water for like 18 hours. Yeah, so it fucked her up. Then she started sliding like this.
No, my mom's sharp as a tack. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I ordered last time, but I do know what I want, though.
Does he not like visiting?
Okay. Are you ready for it?
No, he picks her up all the time, and they go to.
That's right.
He's still working. He's not retired, so he can't, show up on a Tuesday.
What'd you do, Doc?
I just called Emily.
Okay.
It went to voicemail.
Okay. A small cheese pizza.
Packard's calling her back.
Maybe.
And then a large pepperoni, sausage, extra cheese, Canadian bacon.
Florida, everything in Florida is 200 miles from everything.
Yeah. Nope, that's it.
Had to go down and check on her for something. It'd take 12 hours if you're standing at the airport when she called. By the time you get on the plane and drive 200 miles.
Yeah.
She's right between West Palm and Orlando.
It's a cool area. I mean, we can fly in there cheap. Flying them out is cheap.
Yeah.
We can fly there. We got that all-you-can-eat pass, so we can get there in a heartbeat.
The only headache I ever had is, having to change planes in Atlanta if you want to go to West Palm, which is closer.
What's the zip code on this card?
What?
What's the zip code?
80247.
What's the, how far is that airport?
60 miles from West Palm, 60 miles north to Port St. Lucie, where they were.
Okay.
Or if you go nonstop into Orlando, it's 100 miles.
Okay, call me if there's any issues with
Even
that.
at 100
Otherwise, we'll
miles
see you
an
in
hour,
40
it's
minutes.
gonna take forever.
Thank you.
Not much between Orlando and down there.
Alrighty. Emailing you. Doc,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
She wants out of contract. Is the call. Okay. Oh, geez. View completed documents.
That actually looks like Seinfeld.
What's that?
I can't
Lego.
see this.
Yeah.
Oh, there
it's
they are.
cool, man.
That is cool.
It's pretty detailed, too. If you look around it, there's all kinds of stuff like the bike with Newman, the picture
did he
of
see
Kramer.
it?
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
got all kinds of
The
stuff.
bike actually rolls around. Oh, he doesn't have his.
Suzanne built it pretty quick.
Brad O'Brien. Shit.
It's just funny watching some of the old shows.
Come on.
Where he gets on the phone, you get the 20-foot phone cord walking around the place. And,
No cell phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really wild. I think there's a couple. He's got one when his car gets stolen, but it's the old suitcase.
The suitcase, yeah.
Or it's literally built into the car. I forget.
That was one of the first ones we had.
On track for call.
It had a two-way
Today.
and a cell phone built into the mic on the radio.
What is Super Micro? Super Micro shares soar. is Supermicro? It sounds familiar, but are they a chip manufacturer?
They have to be. That's the only thing rolling today.
Man, 87% since 22. Wish I was on that son of a bit. Yeah, what was it? Facebook came out and he said he's gobbling up chips, gobbling them up.
Yep. I'd never heard of super micro computer either.
Looks like they make GPUs.
5-fold increase over a year.
It's crazy, man.
It's nuts.
It's big dollar. It's big dollar make you holla.
I just keep thinking that rolling's over. I mean, what's it, Nivea? I mean, you know, at 300, I thought it was chasing.
Yeah.
400's like no way, and now it's what, 600?
I know.
Like, do you jump in now so it can?
It's kind of what Amazon did back in the day.
Yep. They had a thing about that. You could have got a 1% stake in Amazon for $50,000.
Mark.
Started out. He was
Mark.
begging for money. Bezos.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I just
I
sent
can't hear you now. I could hear you now. I can't.
Can you go offline?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I was just giving Brad O'Brien a minute to look at the contract. Do you want to go to that car call while he takes a minute to look at the contract?
Yep, sounds good.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show that's kind of here to solve problems, answer questions. Take your complaints if you've been ripped off or just need some help. Maybe you're trying to make a decision right now and you've got questions, whether it's a good one or bad one. Not only us here, but people on the referralist.com. We have attorneys, we have doctors, we have dentists, we have everything you can imagine to make your life a little better. But my favorite part of the show is hearing about a bad contractor, someone that really, and I mean really, put the screws to you, took your money, promised to do something. Those are the kind of people that I love exposing. Maybe you got a bad scumlord you want to expose out there. Maybe that elevator's been broke for a year. Maybe you haven't had hot water for a month. No heat. Those kind of maggots. Yeah, I'll call them that. Maggots. How about that? 303 Martino's the number. 2 lines open. 303 Martino. By the way, don't forget, you can go to youtube.com, type in Troubleshooter Network. You can watch us live, not just listen. You can watch us live. Now, we're getting an attorney on, Bradley O'Brien. We had this poor woman, Caroline, lost her husband last December. She ended up signing a bunch of DocuSigns that Brad O'Brien, our attorney's looking at right now, and we're going to see if there's any outs. She kind of panicked. The husband died. His income went away, which was his Social Security. She's got a disabled son living with her. She sold the house for $300,000. Not only does she think she can get a lot more for the house, that part doesn't even matter. Now that she's settled down, you know, it's traumatic when you lose a spouse like that after all these years. But she wants to stay in the house. I don't know what she's going to do going forward with the disabled son. There's a lot of moving pieces, but our attorney's looking at it right now. So as soon as he gets to eyeball that, we'll go back to him. Now, Gary.
Her house is probably set up for her son.
I have no idea how it's set up. Right now, it's not her house. She sold it.
No, but I meant the house is probably
for the disability.
Accommodations for his disability.
Yeah, that's another good question to ask her. Hey, Gary, what's going on with this diesel truck, sir?
Well, I bought a new diesel truck from Dodge in 2016, and I love the truck. It does real well. Apparently, they're like Volkswagen, and they cheated on their smog stuff. So
they
it's being
did?
recalled.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Dodge did?
Yeah, it's double the size of Volkswagen.
Now, wait a second. Was Dodge owned by Mercedes back then or Chrysler?
Well, Stellantis is who built these trucks.
Oh, my God. So what they did is they fooled the computer when it's on a dyno, it's rigged down.
Whistle clean.
But when you're actually driving it, it's
better
way out of
performance.
spec.
Better performance.
And then tell me a little more about it, Kevin, as far as the recall. Like Volkswagen, my understanding is there's like 1 million of these Volkswagens parked somewhere, at least there was.
Yeah, what the recall is they want it's like an EPA update. They're going to update the software on the computer to defeat that emissions defeat.
Well, what's interesting about that is that's going to change gas mileage and other things.
It's going to change everything.
I wonder how an attorney would look at that when you buy a vehicle that says, okay, my gas mileage is 20 miles per gallon, but they go through something like this because they were trying to cheat the system.
Mm-hmm.
And now, in order not to cheat the system, you're getting either less horsepower or less gas mileage.
It's definitely going to have a rating problem with the performance. It is going to change it.
So what's going on with your particular one, Gary, now that I get what's going on?
Well, it's been recalled, and I like the truck. It runs good. It pulls my trailers just fine, and I'm very happy with it.
We had
my thing is the same thing. Yeah, the same thing you are is I bought a 400 horsepower truck, and they're telling me to bring it in, and they're going to turn it down to 200 horsepower. And
Don't bring
I'm not
it in.
happy.
This guy.
I wouldn't bring it in.
Well, we had people say that with Volkswagen, and eventually what happened was they couldn't re-register the car.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right,
so
that's what they're doing.
yeah, they simply wouldn't allow it to happen. I mean, you're screwed. Are they offering any compensation, by the way, to the people that own these things?
Well, not that I know of. I've been getting phone calls from these California law firms, and they want to sue them and get your money back in that. And the other problem that I have is I paid $60,000 for the truck. Now the same truck's about $95,000.
Oh my God, man, 95. I just not much to do. We tried to go to bat for some of those Volkswagen people.
I remember.
To make all kinds of arguments, and the bottom line is they couldn't re-register the vehicle. You could go after them for a few bucks, maybe in small claims or something.
Could you re-register out of an emissions area though?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because I think it's U.S. emissions. It has nothing to do with California emissions, right? I mean, it's the emissions for the country.
Yeah, it's federal. It's EPA.
That's how it was with Volkswagen. This has nothing to do with California or Colorado emissions. It just really sucks, man. I mean, I don't have. There's no magic wand. We've been down this with Volkswagen. Now, I think. Wait, hold on though. I think Volkswagen didn't they offer some kind of a buyback?
Yeah, they did.
They did. I wonder if Dodge is going to end up doing something like that.
I don't think they can afford it. It's already like $2 billion it's costing them to do the recall.
Yeah, it is. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's
man. What were you hoping we would say on this, Gary?
Well, I wasn't sure what to do there. This is what I found out too: is Colorado went to the California air standards.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was years ago.
Air standards still. Yeah. Well, that's what they're telling me now is that if you take it in, they're going to detune it there. And like I said, I like the truck. I don't want it detuned. I'm not going to take it in until I absolutely have to. I was just kind of asking questions before I did something there.
Now, I just Googling something. Is there a class action on this?
I'm sure there is.
You know what sucks about class action is the attorneys get paid.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it goes on for 2, 3, 4 years, and you get a check for $5,000 when it's over.
Yeah, here it is right here. So what's the issue? Hagens Berman filed a class action lawsuit claiming Fiat Chrysler FCA manufactured and sold approximately 630,000. Yep. Now, wait a minute. This one's weird. This says 2019 to 2023. Are you sure yours is included in this?
Yeah, this went from 2013.
You know what? I
13.
see that.
Yeah.
I see they added that below. So then it says trucks equipped with the Cummins diesel engines that release illegally high levels of NOx emissions in real-world driving conditions. Once again, what these guys do is they're smart enough to program the computer to where it's either on a dyno, not moving, or it's going around in a circle. Mm-hmm. It's smart enough to go into a certain mode where there's no emissions.
It's brilliant if you think about it.
It is. Less horsepower, less everything, but it passes emissions. Yep. Then when you're out driving it and doing your work or just doing whatever you do with the truck,
normal.
It goes back to normal. It is kind of ingenious, but That's basically it, man. So eventually you'll have that class action. If they don't offer a buyback, what that class action might do, I don't think Volkswagen offered a buyback at first. I think it took a class action. But I don't remember. If someone went through, if someone listening went through the buyback with Volkswagen, we would love to hear. Or if you've been dealing this with your Dodge, it's a good day to talk about it, too. It's car day. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate it. And if we get an update on it, leave your info with Suzanne or keep listening. Maybe we can figure something out for you. 303 Martino, 303-713-TALK.
Follow the sun in your new RV, any shape, size, or price range at LazyDays.com. The RV Authority. Multiple locations nationwide for your convenience, warranty work, repairs, maintenance, and service, including the new Century RV of Denver at Longmont, formerly Century RV, at I-25 and exit 240, south a half mile on Frontage Road. Largest selection of new and used RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and motorhomes, plus high-tech maintenance facilities. LazyDays.com. LazyDays.com.
All right, I want to tell you about Genesis Total Exteriors. Mark Szymanski is the owner. You know, you can get virtual estimates right over the phone, but when it comes to the exterior of your house, you're not going to get better than Genesis. In fact, if you had any storm damage done and you had a new roof put on and no one's been out to look at your deck, no one's looked at the siding or the paint or the outbuildings or the landscaping, Mark Szymanski will send his guys out there. They'll do a full inspection, make sure that you're getting every single penny, that insurance company owes you. The other thing they can do is stucco. Right now, they've got a great deal going on stucco. Maybe that house didn't have the storm damage, but you want to update it, make it look brand new in the neighborhood again. The stucco products he has are unbelievable. It's a great company. Check them out at GenesisTotalExteriors.com, or you can go to 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509, zero res. It's that time of year. We had that cold snap. Now it's warming up. If you got dogs, you had all the relatives in for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Time to get those carpets clean. Here's what I love about them. No soaps, no emulsifiers. These guys come in with empowered water. I've had them done at my house, and I couldn't believe the outcome. It was absolutely astonishing. The cleanest carpets I think we have ever had done was ZeroResDenver.com right here in Colorado. The owners local in Castle Rock. They're just great guys. Not only can they do your carpet with the empowered water, but they can do granite cleaning, mattress cleaning, upholstery cleaning. How about that area rug you haven't cleaned forever? I think you get the idea. ZeroResDenver.com, ZeroResDenver.com.
If addiction, trauma, depression, or anxiety are affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here for you. The dedicated team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides a premium level of care for substance use and mental health disorders. We believe recovery is possible. The Raleigh House can help. Call 720-797-8717 to get the help you need. That's the Raleigh House, 720-797-8717.
How about this plum crazy match made in heaven? Buy a new Carrier AC and get a new Carrier furnace free. A deal for any budget. Only from Plumline Services and Carrier. Turn to the experts. From Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's been earning our trust since '98 with a spirit of excellence.
Troubleshooter, don't run off. I got to get you over to Sue's. Hang on.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Troubleshooter show.
Yes.
Okay, I tried the RV guy. He didn't answer. I'll try again.
Okay, you can even do it after the top of the hour.
Okay, you have Brad O'Brien holding.
Yep, I'm going right to him.
I sent you the agreement. It sounds pretty basic. It looks pretty basic.
Okay.
It's. Do you have an out with real estate? Does the seller have an out within 3 days?
No, on the lending side, but other than that, no.
Oh, really?
Well, generally not, like
says,
Frank said.
Did you see the contract?
I haven't opened it.
It just says all laws apply to the Colorado laws. That's all it says for her. Okay. But you'll go to Brad next.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Shannon, hang on. I'll tell you what to print. Okay. Let's see here.
And you can get rid of that Dodge guy or get his information.
What is your first name? Kevin, hi. In a sentence or less, what did you want to talk to Mark about on the show today?
Frank Duran, the
Dude,
real
I
estate
love this
man,
shirt.
can
Call me
list
on the
your
dodgeball,
home, and he
man,
proves
'cause I
you
still
get
have that
more
$10
money
man.
and
It
faster
is so
results.
warm and so
He
comfortable.
also shines on the buying
It almost
side.
looks like that long underwear.
Actively searches out the market for the very best deals.
And I'm sorry, what's your first
and then
name again?
negotiates an even better deal.
This is not just
I love Costco
Troubleshooter
clothes.
Show. What is your first name?
Frank
This is
Duran
like,
with
I mean,
Remax
it's a name
Alliance.
brand.
26 years of
Hey,
proven
Mike and Lakewood,
credibility.
and it's
Frank
for less. What
Duran,
do
the
you
real
want to talk to
estate
Tom about
man.
on the show? Mark about on the show today?
303-920-1622.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do know what date that was because I texted a guy about it.
Mostly
who
sunny and
also
cool
does
for
it.
today.
Hang
High
on.
temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Winds coming out of the northeast anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. This is Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
Text. Oh, I need to clean up my text, man. Jeez. Oh dear. Give me just a second to rack my brain on that one, okay? Hang on a minute. I can look at Tom's call. I can look at Tom's call
Denver's
logs. Hang
talk
on.
station, 630.
All right, 303-713-8255. I'll let you know when a line's open, but honestly, you've been ripped off, taken advantage of. I want to get this RV one back up, hopefully next hour. I am still so upset over that company. They're based out of here in Denver. They really just put the screws to the guy. I'll pick it up when we get to it. But right now, I want to go to Brad O'Brien. Brad, I know you have looked at the contract Caroline sent, so let me recap very quickly. Caroline's husband passed away in December. She panicked because that Social Security income was disappearing. She was afraid she wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage. She has a son that lives with her that has some kind of issues going on. He's on Social Security disability, so is she. Bottom line is she contacted a company in Florida. They made her an offer for $300,000 on the house. They sent a DocuSign. I have not looked at it. I know you have, but it's gone back and forth. Do you see any way that she can get out of this contract with the exception of the guys actually being human and letting her out?
Well, there's a couple of different issues here, as is typical. One issue I see is that it looks like she and her late husband are both named as the seller. And my first question is, did they have title? Were they joint tenants with right of survivorship?
Oh, that is a great question. Hold on a second. I have a feeling, Caroline, you're probably not going to know the answer to this, but do you know how the deed was done? In other words, did it all go to you when your husband died, or did you both own, say, 50% of it? Or you simply don't know?
I don't know. I just know that we were both on it.
Brad, let's take the assumption that it's like most couples or most married couples that own the house together, and it goes to the survivor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Yeah, if they owned it with right of survivorship, then upon his passing, then she became the owner of the entire property, and that would allow her to contract to sell the whole property.
Hey, I want to touch. Hold on, Brad, because this is very important for people listening out there. There's two ways to deed it. What are the two ways? Well, there's probably more than that, but what are the two we're talking about? What are they actually called, Brad?
Well, in Colorado, we have tenancy in common,
Yep.
which is the default if you don't say.
Yep.
And then we have joint tenancy with right of survivorship.
And what that means for people listening, there's two ways. When we talk about if you're going to buy a house with someone that's not really you're married to or your partner, you should always have an attorney like Brad O'Brien look at it. And one of the reasons is because you're not sure how you want to deed it. There might be a reason to deed it another way. So the way you would typically do it if two people were living together, but it was more of an investment in the house where there wouldn't be a survivorship. In other words, my stake in the house would go to my heirs and their stake in the house would go to their heirs. You would do that as not tenants in common, right? I get them confused.
Yeah, if you want the right of survivorship, then you pick joint tenancy.
Joint tenancy, that's right. So tenants in common mean they have common ownership, right? So in other words, I could own 40% of the house and Kevin could own 60%.
Yeah, if you don't state the percentage, it's 50-50 by default.
Unless you go to it. So,
Yeah,
Caroline, it's highly unlikely, but one of the things you do want to look at, and we'll ask Brad how you can do that, we do want to make sure how it was deeded. And let's pretend it was deeded, the tenants in common, Brad. She wouldn't have had the power to sell it then, right?
Not unless she has already been appointed as the personal representative of his estate.
Got it. Okay, let's skip out of that part. So, Carolyn, that's number one. And we might, how would she look that up, Brad? How would anybody out there look and make sure it's deeded the way they want it?
Well, if her closing papers from the purchase, she has a copy of the deed, look at that. It'll say joint tenancy, or it'll state joint tenancy with right of survivorship.
How about in the county where they filed it?
If you can go to the clerk and recorder's office in your county. Many times that's online, and you can go check it there, pull the deed there.
Okay.
Or go in person.
Now, so let's assume it's not tenants in common. So, is there any other outs that you can see? How about the fact they're in Florida, she's in Colorado? Doesn't matter.
Well, they didn't use the standard real estate contract form for Colorado, but that's okay because there's no real estate broker involved. Real estate brokers have to use the standard form, but since the two private parties, they can use their own form. So they did use a custom form. But I do see a defect in here, a potential defect, which is a description of the premises. They just got the street address. They don't have a legal description.
Oh, they don't have like the lot number.
Right, lot 1, block 2.
And how does that work in Colorado? In other words, if I bought Kevin's house and the paperwork didn't have the actual legal description, does that void the contract, or how does that work?
Potentially. There's something called a statute of frauds, which basically says a contract for real estate generally has to be in writing in order to be enforceable. And that writing has to state the name, the price, and the description of the property. Now, case law says that the description has to be a legal description, and that the street address isn't good enough. You got to have like block 1, block 2, that legal description. But doesn't mean you can't. I mean, that's arguable. That at best that means you're going to have a court case about.
Okay, hold on, though, Brad. Let me ask you this. So, if she did hire someone like you, and there was a court case, and I know you don't know the answer, but get as close as you can. What are the chances that argument would void that contract?
I think you'd have a decent argument that the contract is not enforceable because it omits any legal description of the property. I'm not going to guarantee that's the outcome.
But you've seen that happen.
Well, that's the expectation that's how the statute of fraud works.
Wow, that's incredible. It makes me think of the roofing contract where if you don't have certain things in a roofing contract, the state of Colorado, I'm just talking about Colorado, doesn't look at it as an actual contract, meaning they have to either redo it or it's just void. Now, the other question I have for you, because I haven't looked at that contract, are they going out?
Hang on a minute, okay?
Because the place that's buying it is in Florida.
Okay.
Whose laws are we dealing with, Florida or Colorado? What does the contract say?
Well, the contract specifically says Colorado law applies.
Oh, wow. Wow. How would you, if she was, and I got her up right now, I would guess, and tell me if I'm wrong, Brad, the first thing would maybe you talk to Caroline offline and you represent her, or follow where I'm going, and you start out with a letter saying, Colorado, you have to have a legal description. We're looking at this as it's void. However you put it in your legalese, is that where you would start this?
Yeah, no sense in jumping to a court case if a letter can resolve it. So, yeah, a demand letter would be a good way to start.
Oh, my God, Brad, you have brought a little hope, I think, to Caroline. Caroline, do you have any questions? This is pretty amazing because they forgot the legal description. You might have a contract that is nil and void, but you're going to have to hire someone, and I would highly suggest Brad, who's on the phone with us, to write a letter and see if he can get you out of it. I mean, I don't know what else you can do at this point. How much equity do you have in that house?
Well, if we were to sell it,
I'm not talking about. It doesn't matter if you sell it or keep it. How much equity do you have in the home?
I'm not exactly sure because, like I said, I freaked out, so I didn't even look into all that. I know probably maybe $300,000, $400,000.
Okay, but you still owe money on it, right?
Only $2,500.
All you owe is $2,500. So you're not even going to have a mortgage payment in a little bit, right?
Okay. Wednesday, January 3rd.
You know, I would love to get this. I would
That
love
is
to
the
help
date
you out
of
on
the,
this, and I'm giving you the
podcast.
best advice I can. Would be to call Brad and talk to him. You're going to have to spend a few bucks to get that letter written, but it sounds like a solid
take
out.
you through the entire
He can't
segment.
make
Give me
any
a call or an
guarantees.
email
Every
if
case is
not. The
different.
other
A
thing I
judge
was
is a judge.
wondering,
I mean, but it
if you
sounds
give me
like in the
another
state of
minute,
Colorado,
I
if you don't
can-
have a
I
legal
might have this
description,
guy's number
the
where I can
contract could
call
very
and
well be
ask
no good.
If
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to see if I have it.
Let's see.
Let me give you Brad's number. You guys need to have a conversation off air, okay?
Okay, yeah. Let me find a pen and a piece of
Well,
paper.
I'm going to put you on hold. Suzanne's going to give you that. Let me get you on hold. Hey, Brad, I wanted to ask you something else. She's going to be calling you. Kind of keep me in the loop on that one. I'm very curious how that goes. I'm not saying they're predatory lenders, but in my opinion, they possibly are predatory lenders. I think that house is worth way more, but it's not their fault she reached out to them. But it is their fault if they didn't dot the I's and cross the T's. But here's what I want to ask you. All the different landlord tenancy agreements, all the leases out there pre-COVID in Denver, let's just take Denver because they have a lot of changes. Would you agree there is a ton of landlords out there maybe listening right now that have leases that aren't following the law?
Yeah, the law changed almost every year the last couple of years. Last August, we had a bunch of changes come through.
What's one of the big ones that you would guess people that haven't updated their leases in 2 or 3 years, what's one of the big ones that could get them in trouble?
Well, late fees was a big topic about 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So that if your lease says, okay, here's a 10% late fee if you're 3 days late, that's not enforceable. So you have zero late penalty now.
Now, what happens if they just don't listen to the law and they've been charging late fees and somebody listening right now is like, hey, wait a minute. I was just charged a $400 late fee for being 3 days late or something outside of the scope of what they're supposed to be paying for a late fee. What are the ramifications to the landlord?
Yeah, they might have to disgorge those late fees that they already collected.
Oh, my goodness.
And those provisions would not be enforceable going forward.
And they wouldn't be enforceable, so they might have to pay the money back. Oh, it's crazy. So I guess what my point is, if you're a landlord, I don't care if it's commercial property, I don't care what it is, but especially housing. Maybe you own a triplex or a duplex, some kind of people you rent to that live there. You really need to call Brad up. He can look over the lease. He can make all the modifications. He can give you an idea of what it's going to take. And you charge up front for that, right, Brad? You'll look at it and give them a fixed rate.
Well, I bill based upon my time, and every matter is a little bit different.
Okay.
So I think that's most efficient.
But you can give them a close estimate?
Yeah, I give a rough estimate, sure.
I love that. You know what, guys? If you're out there and you're a landlord, give Brad a call. And the other thing I'll say, evictions. How many times, Kevin, on this show do we have landlords call up that are trying to evict a client and they've been there for 6 months?
Can't get them out.
Spend some money and get the bum out of there and call up an attorney that can help you do it. That's Brad O'Brien. OLSlaw.com, OLSlaw.com, OLSlaw.com. Thank you, Brad. And we've got a couple things coming up. We have a comment on the Dodge caller and a lot more. One line open, 303 Martino.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Another easy Friday late morning commute throughout the Denver metro. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound and 225 north and southbound. No complaints to and from the DIA area. Out west into the high country, I-70 westbound stop and go traffic continues through wintry road conditions between El Rancho and the Veterans Memorial Tunnel. Back to town heading to Boulder, Highway 36 east and westbound flowing free. Fox 31 pinpoint weather a little bit cooler than yesterday. High 30 this afternoon. partly cloudy skies. Overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, cloudy again, a little bit warmer with a high of 40. The current temperature in Denver is 27 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll have the story of the man who made flying paper airplanes his full-time job. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
All right, let me tell you about mymoneymyway.com. I talked to Joe. He has an annuity, and I want you to listen to this. If I put $125,000 into it right now, buy it, he gives me a 15% bonus that starts growing instantly with the amount I put in. Within 1 year, that annuity is going to have a cash value of $150,000. At the end of around 12 years, in my circumstance, it's going to be worth over $500,000. No risk. I can take the lump sum. It's going to grow for those 12 years to over $500,000. I can take the lump sum, or I can choose a paycheck for life. That annuity might not be right for you, but it seems right for me. I want you to give Joe a call and talk to him about all the different products he has. If you're sick of losing money in the stock market and you're getting close to retirement, or if you're 20 years out, call Joe. Ready for the way? mymoneymyway.com. mymoneymyway.com. Denver Regenerative Health. You know what these guys are doing right now? They're doing that new diet drug, and it's unbelievable. Now, listen, I want you to talk to your own doctor if you have one. They have doctors there you can talk to as well, but for less than $250 a month, they can get you on this new weight loss drug. You'll actually take it right in the privacy of your own house. It's a weekly dose you take. They'll teach you how to do it. But for less than $250, that includes a consultation. It includes everything, including the medication. There's other companies out there right now doing this for well over $1,000 a month. These guys at Denver Regen, only $250. It's all the rage. Check with your doctor. You can call them up and check with their doctors. 720-583-1648. Real weight loss. 720-583-1648. DenverRegen.com.
Oh, boy. Okay, I was on the phone. Well, how did you leave Caroline? Can you go to offline, please, so I can hear you?
There you go.
Okay, what about Caroline? I was on the phone.
Oh, we're pretty much done with her.
Okay, that's it? She's screwed.
No, she's not screwed. She needs to call up Brad over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell her.
Give her Brad's number directly.
Caroline, it sounds like you need to be calling Brad O'Brien. You want his number again? Okay, do you got a pen?
Well, that's pretty amazing. That might be an out for her.
Sure, take your time.
That'd be cool.
Take your time.
It's incredible.
Well, it sounds like a strong out,
Okay,
though.
Brad's number
Sounds
is
like a really strong out.
Yeah.
370. Oh, sorry. Yes, 720.
What was the out?
Yes,
They didn't list the description of the
7388.
property, just the physical address.
No lot number.
Colorado requires a
Yeah.
description, not just an address.
Okay,
A
Caroline.
legal description.
Hey, Caroline, I'm so sorry you lost your husband like that. And I mean, I know there's never a good time of year, but what a terrible time of year to have to deal
Yeah.
with that. And gosh, I just wish you all the best in getting resolved. And let us know how it works out. Okay? So 2023 just kicked you all over the place, huh? You poor thing. Yeah, me and Mark, ours didn't end great. I mean, in general, we had a good year, but it didn't end great. And it sounds like a lot of people were kind of having a bad 2023. So, Caroline, I wish you all the best. You have our email, you have our phone number. Let us know how it works out as you go along.
I'm
We'd
going to
love
ask
to
you
hear a
about
good
that,
update for you.
because I don't quite understand what that means. Who'd they turn it over to?
The EPA.
Sure. And if you need help with anything else, you just let us know, okay? All right. Bye, darling.
Ah, poor woman.
Sure.
I
Poor
think
thing.
Bradley might be able to save her house in this one.
That'd be cool.
Pretty messed up what Sue's just said to her, though.
What?
She said, "I'm so sorry you lost your husband. I envy you."
No, I didn't.
That's what I heard.
No.
I can't even sleep without putting my hand on Mark's back. I sleep with my hand on his back.
On Mark's what?
Back. You butthead.
Not front?
I put my hand on his back and I fall asleep.
And the hair just holds onto your hand?
I have no back hair, thank you.
Or our butts are together. If I turn the other way.
That's a good one.
I might do this. I see this commercial so much. I always think $11 a month. What the fuck?
$11 a month for what?
Tunnel
Oh,
to
let's
towers.
do it. Tunnel a tower. Tower of
Some
tunnels.
of those guys they build homes for, I'm not talking the commercials, but when they're actually given the homes, man, they have like one arm. That's their limb. They have one limb. And they build these homes so they can get around. It's pretty cool.
Oh, let me try your RV guy again. I called him at the top of the show. Where is he? Mark, okay. Hey, you about here? Okay. Nil and void, Mark's addiction. Null and void. YouTubies are rough. That guy isn't answering. I got to go get the pizza.
Okay. All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taking advantage. Boy, I think Bradley O'Brien's going to really help out Caroline in this one.
That's sweet for him to come up with that so quick, too.
You know, we really learned something in this. If you don't have a legal description of your property in a real estate contract in Colorado, that is a good way out of that contract. In other words, it's not enforceable.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to bring an action against her, but hopefully that saves her house. I feel horrible for her. You know, she lost her husband. She's got a disabled son living with her. And I think Deputy Doc brought up a good point. The house, I don't know his disability, but
Sure.
the house could be built for that.
Exactly.
And it could cost a fortune. Where would she put her son?
Mm-hmm.
She panicked.
Well, that's what she said, and I would. I mean, that's how long you live with somebody, and all of a sudden you're on your own.
It's life-changing.
Yeah.
Hey, you were doing some research. By the way, we have lines open. First time during the show, we have lines open. 303-713-8255. Ripped off, taken advantage of. Want to shine that flashlight on someone, some scumbag. 303 Martino. We'll take your call right now. But, Kevin, you were looking up that Dodge recall on the Cummins engines.
There's so much stuff.
2013 to
Yep.
2019. What did you find out? You were telling me that the EPA...
Well, there's other things that people have been doing to get around emissions on their diesels for years. You know, one of them is deleting the EGR and different things.
What does that mean, deleting? Like
Well,
removing
buy
it from the vehicle?
And you buy a steel plate on eBay, a kit, which is a delete kit, they call it.
Wait a second, though. How does it work? Do you actually remove
Yep.
the EGR?
Yeah.
And then you put this steel plate there?
Yep, it completely bypasses that section of the emissions. You get a little better performance and everything else.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
EPA has been induced into releasing information on who bought install kits.
Now, wait a second.
Yeah.
So eBay gave the EPA information on individuals.
Says they were coerced into turning over records of who purchased delete kits.
Oh, my God.
Because they sold thousands of them.
And what is the EPA doing with that information?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? They could come knocking and check on your deletion.
And it is illegal
Yes.
to change the emissions.
It is. It is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so they're really getting serious.
That's absolutely nuts, man. I didn't know they had a delete kit. How about, is it illegal to tune them when you install these tuners? Can you electronically through the ECM tell it to bypass the EGR, for example, or no?
Some of them didn't have electronic EGRs. They were mechanical, so no. I mean, some of the later model ones being electronic, yeah, you probably could.
Oh, my goodness.
Technically, it's illegal if you're bypassing, emissions related.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to,
Now,
but I mean, that's a strong...
We've had this argument a lot, though, and it's really not an argument. I'm convinced I'm right on this. If you have California emissions here, if we go to Sheridan Auto Tech, your shop, and your cat got stolen, and let's say that cat was from a 2015 blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
you have to do a California emissions CAT.
California certified, CARB.
So that's all you can buy from
Yep.
your suppliers
Yep.
in this state.
Yes.
And that could easily be what, $2,000?
Easily, yeah.
Easily.
I mean, you can buy out of state and have it shipped.
You can buy an out-of-state one and have it shipped in.
Yes.
But you as a shop, you're not supposed to put it in.
You would put yourself in a lot of jeopardy.
If I brought you a cat that I got from out-of-state, can you legally install it for me on my vehicle?
Not if it's not certified.
Not if it's not a California
No,
certified.
correct.
And that's because we follow, California emissions. I mean, we're turning into California. But the interesting part about that is if I took my car to Wyoming and had them, a shop in Wyoming, install the cat for me, there's no problem with it, and there's no problem bringing it back here, as long as it passes emissions,
Yes.
which, of course, it would pass emissions.
Yes.
So it's kind of frustrating. Well, you know this. It's
Sure,
very frustrating.
it is.
How much of the business did that hurt? Let's look at this in the business standpoint. How many cats did you do prior to now?
I think we do the same. People don't have a choice.
Yeah,
really.
they don't.
You know,
They
it's
don't
not-
realize
it's
they
not
can
an
go to
option.
another state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It kind of does kill you, though. And I'd love to know, do you know the difference between California and what we had
It's just
federal?
It's a more strict standard is all it is. I mean, there may not be a difference in some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them may be equal, but if they're not certified, they had a lot of garbage coming out. So a lot of the, aftermarket stuff was just nothing in there. It really didn't do much.
And what's crazy with all the cat thefts, all of a sudden, someone steals your cat, and let's say you don't have full coverage on your vehicle. I mean, my God, you could be $2,000-$3,000. Some of these
you could
vehicles,
be 2 months waiting for it too.
2 months waiting, but some of these vehicles probably aren't even worth the value of the replacement cat.
It's difficult. It is.
No, it's crazy. Out of DIA, they were stealing them like crazy. All right, we're going to take a break. 303, we got lines open. 303 Martino. Hold tight. Oh.
Thanks, Ken, for the pizza.
Delta Hotels by Marriott. A comprehensive approach to retirement. I'm talking about the guys at Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. They're not just a sponsor, but Tom actually uses them for some of his wealth building and some of his retirement needs. They're doing a seminar. In fact, Martino's going to be there. It's upcoming February 8th. I want you to save the date. That's less than a month away. They're going to answer all your questions when it comes to retirement. It's a trusted family-owned team approach. They're going to talk about income. They're going to talk about investments, tax ramifications, healthcare. They're going to talk about your legacy, where you're going to lead. Over 40 years of helping people. And this is a time to get right in front of them and with Tom and ask him the questions. Say, hey, here's my circumstance. What are the different things you can do for me? What's different between you guys and everybody else out there that does financial advisory? I want you to check these guys out. You got to call up and save the date. You got to call and register. 970-663-3211. Delta Hotels by Marriott in Thornton, 970-663-3211 or rpcenter.com.
Yeah, and I'm making this like 5 inches long.
Old football injuries can't keep.
Can you print 4 of them and I'll do 2 on each headphone? I think that would work, wouldn't it? Well, like this. I guess that's not 10. I was thinking like here. Like 1 year.
Oh, you need it both names?
Oh, it I want this one for Sue's Major, then I have 2 new sets of headphones that I want them to say Tom Martino. Or can you do Tom Martino's show?
Yeah, I could just make a bunch of Tom Martino show. Is that what you mean?
I guess so, huh? Just do 3 of those.
Yeah.
With a hammer.
Thank
That's
you,
something I've
Shannon.
never done is a full hammer. Raw.
Denise has
I
been
did a
playing
spiral,
jazz for
you know,
a
double
long
smoke.
years.
I like that a lot.
One of the
I've double
musicians
smoked.
sick with RSV, respiratory syncytial virus or RSV, is a highly
That's
contagious
Thanksgiving.
virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help
Heck, we
protect
just
herself
finished some
with
of it.
Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrismo.
much of it
Abrismo is
left
a
over.
vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and
I'm
older.
labeling our
Abrismo is
headphones.
not for everyone.
Why?
It may not protect
So other
everyone
people
receiving
don't,
the
you know, to
vaccine.
deter other people from taking them. I bought those 2. Is your set working okay? No problem. Shannon's making me labels.
Doc probably wouldn't know the static anyway.
We can see. I've never, I don't know.
I figured for him to be a label guy.
Well,
I
I
just
feel
bought it
bad.
yesterday.
He just bought. I asked him if he had one. He said yes. I said okay, yeah, I'll use that. Then he goes and buys one.
I figured you as a label guy.
Well, I never, yeah. I
All
never-
the equipment.
Yeah, but I never get around to it. I have a bunch of these, but I never get around to it.
And then he loses them.
Well, I have storage, you know, and I don't get the storage all the time. Should we just see what it looks like?
Sure. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know if it'll get the respect that it's supposed to get. Like the little people leave our headphones like.
Don't put marching on it.
Orchard sold our old home in less than a week, and for way more than we thought. So we got a boat.
It is good. I had a piece. Well, I had the top.
Be prepared to be delighted. Get a free, no obligation cash offer from Orchard. Visit orchard.com. That's orchard.com. Orchard.com. Need RV service of any kind? See our friends at Lazy Days RV of Denver.
Troubleshooter Show. What is your first name?
Huh.
Yo. Oh, okay. Hang tight. Just a minute.
Like a shoulder roast, and they slice it up into like pork chops. So it's all the fat from the shoulder roast, and they're a big flat.
Good.
Really good.
Troubleshooter Show. What is your first name? Ronnie. Is this the one with the Living Spaces refund? Are you calling for another update?
Oh, look at that, Doc. Not only did it land on the damn highway, that's a big ass single prop plane. Look at all those windows. That thing's like 8-seater
Another
single
credit?
prop.
Yeah.
It lands on the highway in the snow.
Okay, let us know.
Crazy.
All right, darling, I'll tell him.
Ugh.
Sure. Bye. All right. Oh, not finished yet.
No.
khout.com.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. I do want to hear from you. We want to help over $300 million so far. Cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds. I'm hoping we can chalk that up a little with Caroline's problem with that house. I'm really, really hoping that works out. I feel so bad for her, and thanks to our attorney, Bradley O'Brien. He read that contract and said, wait a minute, wait just a second. There's no legal description. So therefore, this contract might not be any good. It could be null. Anyhow, Mike's got a comment on that Dodge call. We do have lines open, 303-713-8255. Any question you have, any advice you need, pretty much anybody you want to expose. Mike, what's going on? What's your comment?
Got a phone call right after you guys started that call about Dodge, but it sounded like might be confusing two separate issues.
Okay, go ahead.
eBay has been sued by the EPA for $2 billion with a B dollars over the diesel tuners.
Oh my God!
And emission delete devices. Cummins, on the other hand, was caught red-handed by the feds over the same thing that Volkswagen.
Yeah, the 2013s through the 19s.
Right.
And that's where, just to clarify,
hold
on, Mike, to clarify, that's where they program the computer to when it's either on a dyno or going in circles, it'll give the proper emissions level. But when you're using it for everyday use, it's putting out too many emissions.
That's correct.
So the other thing, though, the eBay part, you're saying it has nothing to do with the manufacturer. They're going after eBay for $3 billion for selling stuff that bypasses the EGR.
Correct. And or allows the vehicle to work harder than stock. Let's put it that way.
Well, it has to come back to emissions, though.
Maybe. I've heard some manufacturers who...
You know what's strange, though? And this has been argued a lot, and I can't remember what it's called, but if I own a server and I allow people to put stuff on my server or on my cloud, like Microsoft OneDrive or like Google Drive, and I allow them to put stuff on there, and they put something illegal on there. I don't know what it could be. Let's say Social Security numbers, porn, like illegal porn, anything that people could host on there illegally. The courts have found multiple times that the people hosting are not at fault unless if they actually knew about it and didn't do anything about it. So I'm pretty curious on the eBay thing. There's people that sell Hong Kong Phooey left and right on Amazon. You can buy a Rolex watch if you want. You can buy virtually anything on Amazon that's fake. You can buy fake Nike stuff, fake Samsung stuff, fake. So I don't think they hold Amazon accountable for the counterfeits going through. But what you're telling me is they're going to hold eBay responsible for someone selling something on their platform?
No, I don't. I think it's an EPA playbook issue. So they're going to propose this huge fine, and then they're going to go in and talk to eBay and say, okay, we'll reduce this to something reasonable. We need all of your records about who sold these devices so we can go see them and then get the customer files and go after the customers.
Oh, my God. And it looks like, according to Kevin, they already took him over. Lawsuit alleges eBay sold unlawful. Oh, this is pesticides. I don't even know what that is. Actually, that would come down to the same thing. Some of the pesticides have been deemed bad for the environment.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. They're going after, the EPA is going after everybody when it comes to some of this stuff. That's crazy.
Right,
hey, man, I appreciate your call on that. Anything else, Mike?
Yes. So if your caller goes to YouTube,
yep,
there are videos all over YouTube about this, but he's going to have to take his truck in for the recall. They're going to...
I'm sorry about that. I accidentally did that. Mike, hold on. I do want to get that information to him. 303-713-8255. 2 hours coming up. Hold tight.
Fill-ins.
Jesus.
It's true.
Oh my God.
It's not an easy.
What's funny is it was line 12 that was doing it. I'm
well,
not
he
even
hit
sure.
it with his wrist.
Oh, he did. I was like, why is even line 12 lit up?
His limp wrist.
I get it.
Yeah, I hit it.
Well, welcome.
Oh, there's probably some up here. God, freaking Kelly.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Or turns them in, at least.
Is Kelly a trash hoarder? What the hell is going on here?
What are you looking for?
A plate.
Oh.
Did you tell Shannon she came in for capless?
Yeah, well, she'd asked me to. What's this funny?
Asked you what?
To do capless.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think he took that many calls.
Yeah, but he pays someone to answer. Because Ryan needs it.
President Biden has signed a short-term measure to avert a government shutdown that will extend funding through early March. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke at the mayor's conference in D.C. today, talking about the steps the U.S. is taking to slow the flow of fentanyl, and he also spoke about the continued support for Ukraine. It's critical aid funding package Congress has been voted on, and the funds would also benefit U.S. communities that make the
I don't need to cross, bro.
It's not entirely.
That'll work.
Okay.
It's not
to be
entirely
official.
gay.
Shannon, thank you
Well, yeah.
so much.
And posting on X, it's another difficult day in what's been a difficult 4 years for SI under the control of the Arena Group. The magazine, once a staple for sports fans, has been losing its audience. This is ABC
Who has?
News.
Sports Illustrated?
About memory loss as they get older.
Should we go back and listen?
Yeah.
The heart of the country, and their knowledge that
Oh, good idea.
here with them makes a big difference.
The publisher of Sports Illustrated
I don't know how much it'll
terminating
deter
most of its
people,
staff.
but-
The union calling it a massive layoff and posting on X, it's another difficult day in what's been a difficult 4
buzzing?
years.
Why are you
for
buzzing?
SI and
I'm
the
listening
control
to
of
air.
the Arena Group.
Why would you do that?
Once a staple
Shut up,
for
we're listening to
sports fans
something.
has been losing its audience. This
Maybe people will give respect.
May benefit from taking a multivitamin. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Health experts advise
That's what I lost.
multivitamin replacing healthy diet and exercise. Instagram
Doing
says it's
something?
rolling out a new
That's when they
feature
try to make
Out of
something
there?
for everybody. You know.
And I meant shut up as a friend, by the way.
No, I know.
on Instagram for more than 10 minutes.
But that's always kind of the funny part of that. What's going on here? Well, we're trying to listen to something. Why does it sound like that? Because we're trying to listen to something.
I'm Michelle.
Sounds like ass. Wait, no, we're trying to find out.
Let's go through it. Listen to it. What did he say? I don't know.
Being unemployed, underemployed, or just out of school feels a lot like that. But when you find the right tools, suddenly everything just clicks. Getting on that path may be
Troubleshooter Show. What's your first
a
name?
good place to start.
Elida, you said?
Well,
That's okay.
Yeah, just the topping. Some good pizza toppings.
What do you want to go by?
From healthcare and manufacturing.
there is somebody that's doing like pizza bowls, isn't there?
Yeah, Papa Murphy's, the Take a Big place.
Does bowl, okay.
Yeah.
All we need is an oven.
Oh yeah, Denver Hospital.
Yeah.
In critical
Which
point.
I think.
You guys been reading about that?
What's going on?
There's so many homeless and so many
Okay.
Immigrants?
It needs a new engine.
Yeah.
or what do they call them now? I forget.
Migrants.
Migrants. They can't take them, so
Okay.
they're turning people away, which I guess is
Okay, gotcha. All right, man, that's some serious mileage on a GMC Yukon. What name would you like to go by on the show?
Xander.
How does Texas
Okay,
do it?
how do you spell it anyway? Is it
I
A-L-I-D-A?
mean, really, if you think about it,
Yeah,
like,
we take 10,000 and they have 1,000,000.
how do they do it?
Elida.
I mean, it's
Okay,
really
2001 GMC
remarkable.
Yukon. Let me
And
go
they
tell the
don't
guys
say
what your
they're
call's about. You shouldn't
sanctuary.
be long at all, okay, miss?
I do wonder how the hell they do
Sure.
it.
Well, the biggest thing with the sanctuary stuff is they refuse to work with the federal government. ICE or anybody. It's not that they just accept.
I mean, it's
They try to put somebody on hold and they refuse to do it. That's
Da, 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 da.
Well, you have to do one before the other.
And you're always alphabetical.
It's not going to work so well if you try it the other way around.
Whoops.
And the other thing is financial pressure.
Although it would be nice if.
I don't know how they do it in Texas. With the hospitals.
Oh, it's, my wife and I were running to it. Russian suicide.
They don't hang around in
Back of his
Texas.
head
It's
4
like
times
Denver,
and buried
pretty
himself in
much
shallow
is.
grave. It's Russian suicide.
That's pretty good.
Back to town, heading to DIA I-70 east and westbound, flowing free as
well as I-225 at north and southbound. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies out there, cooler than yesterday. High of 30 degrees today. We'll reach that high. Overnight low of 11. Tomorrow, high 41.
Is everything at your place survive okay? Cold?
So the recording.
Yeah. Our house, whoever built that thing, I wish I met that builder someday. But man, he thought everything for being in the woods. He really fucking did.
You spelled it
We've
wrong.
never had any problem like that. One of the wells out by the, or one of the spigots, the kind that comes up out of the
Hi,
ground.
Shannon. Thank you.
The one in the front yard and then the one by the barn. I have no idea how they don't freeze.
Well, because they drain.
Oh.
When you turn them off, there's a valve 4 feet
Oh,
underground.
I got you.
And it drains out the whole pipe down.
So it's always empty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, never a problem. One time I left a hose on one of the bibs connected to the house. First year it froze, but that was my bad. But nope, no freezing pipes, even in that -10, -15.
Yeah, because you really find your weaknesses when it hits that cold.
Yeah, you do. In fact, the RV's been doing great too. I got it plugged in the heated floors in store mode, keeping it right at 50 degrees. Even at -10, it was at 48 degrees.
Yeah, if it's at 50 degrees, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Your Tesla doesn't have heated floors.
The Tesla heats up real quick. If I tell it to heat up now, it'd be pretty warm by the time. If we left right now and I told it now, it'd be warm by the time I got in it. Heats up quicker than an engine heat.
Yeah.
It's loud as shit, though.
I was just saying so it could charge, though, because it's got to get warm to charge, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's got to condition the battery to charge. When I plug it in at home, it really doesn't matter. I don't have to condition it. It just slowly conditions itself, then takes a charge.
My seats heat up great with my Subaru. The electric heat.
What's that?
I said the heat seats really work well.
Oh, yeah.
The Subaru.
Oh, yeah.
Salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
I love that intro. I really do. That's our guys at Rock and Roll Brewery, Steve Moss. And the more I hear about that, he does the guitar, the vocals, he does everything on it. Great guy. You know what else he did? Little trivia here, Kevin. Kevin with Sheridan Auto Tech. Steve Moss did our intro. Do you know the big thing he did that everybody in Denver knows?
Everybody in Colorado knows.
Yeah, good point, Doc.
Oh, don't even say it, because then it won't be back in my head for a while.
The tree farm,
Tree
baby.
farm, yep.
The tree farm. Man, did he make his mark on the
And
world of
everybody in
jingles.
Colorado knows that.
Did you know that, Dragon?
It sounded very familiar, yeah.
I knew that because he was in studio and he told us that.
Yeah, he's in all the time. Actually, during the summer when he's out at the racetracks, peddling his beer. Good beer, too, by the way. Rock and Roll Brewery.
There's no more racetrack, though, right? Didn't they close down?
No, that's
Bandamere?
that's Bandamere.
Bandamere didn't close it down?
Bandamere's closed down,
okay.
but he goes out to the other one. It's up north. I forget the name of it, but it's more of a NASCAR track, not a drag race.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
cool.
up at Erie.
Hey, Deputy Doc, by the way, wait.
Flowering tree for only $269.50.
Oh, there
and
it
get
is.
another tree
Listen
for only
to this.
50 cents.
You've
That's
heard
two
it.
7-gallon
Make sure we
trees
bill
for
him
only
for this.
$2.70. Come see.
Everybody knows
to
this.
exit 235. Then
5
miles west to the
Okay, I guess I mixed it up. That's 5 miles
How
west.
the hell could you mess that up?
That and Cars for Kids, I get them confused. Cars 5 miles west to the tree line. Yes. Here's the deal,
What were
though.
you going to say, Mark?
Here's what we do. And I generally open the show up like this, but we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. And it's real world stuff. You've been ripped off. We want to hear from you. You've been taken advantage of. Maybe you're in a predicament like our caller last hour who her husband died and she ended up selling her house and wanted out of the contract. We have attorneys that can look at stuff for you. We have attorneys that can help you out. We have a list of people at referrallist.com that are not only background checked, but they agreed to our code of ethics. So if we need to get involved, we get involved and have them do the right thing. One of those people is Kevin with Sheridan Auto Tech in studio with me, and he's an automotive expert. He's one of a few on our referralist.com that have shops out there and work on different cars and do everything the dealerships do. In fact, Kevin, just to give you a plug, I think you're better than the dealerships in two ways. One, your pricing's better. Two, your warranty's better. Explain your warranty.
Yeah, it's part of a Napa program where 3 years, 36,000 nationwide.
That's the part I love nationwide. If Kevin does a brake job and they're squeaking when you get to California, there's going to be a ton of different shops that are going to get you fixed up under warranty, no money out of pocket.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. You're not going to get a better deal than that. Now, Elida, by the way, we have two lines open, 303-713-8255. Any issues you have, I want to hear from you, 303 Martino. Elida, I hope I'm saying that right. You got a question on your GMC Yukon.
Hi, yeah, I have a 2001 GMC Yukon, bought it brand new in 2000. It's got 256,000 miles on it. We've babied it. So my husband won't let me get a new car. So I'm thinking eventually I need a new engine and possibly a transmission, but I don't know.
I like how if I tried to pull that last line, I'm going to I can't let it glance over because I work with my wife. I sleep with her, I eat with her, and I work with her. So, I mean, we're together 24/7. If I told Suzanne she couldn't get a new car, she's got to get an engine, what would you say, babe? Honestly, let's talk real.
Well, here's the only thing you don't know about Elida. She doesn't need a new engine yet. So she's asking for a new car
But
I don't know.
Did you hear what she said her husband said?
Yeah, I already know. He told her she couldn't get a new car.
Well, Suzanne would have two.
You know what?
I guess
Maybe
really I don't necessarily.
Elida, wait a second. Maybe I'm taking this wrong. Maybe I'm the one in the wrong here. Maybe I need to put my foot down. Go ahead, Elida.
No, I don't necessarily want a new car, all the computer stuff. And this has been a great car. I live in the mountains part-time and in Arizona part-time.
It's an old age question. Do you put money into an 01? And I want to ask Kevin. Kevin, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. When the engine goes, the transmission's probably not far behind, or the transmission might go first for that matter. Then you have a transfer case that's involved too. Then you have U-joints. You have, of course, your brakes. You have an alternator that's most likely got 266,000 miles. You see where I'm going. You might end up rebuilding that Yukon dollar for dollar.
Sure.
So what are your thoughts on it?
Well,
Go ahead.
We've done all the maintenance. We've done, I think we've done U-joints I mean, it's we've maintained it as we go. So
you don't think, in other words, you don't think a lot of stuff. What does an engine cost for that?
You probably, for a good reman with a good warranty, you're installed probably about $7,000.
Like a Jasper or something?
Jasper, yeah. Depending on the motor it's in it, of course.
So it's got a Vortex 5.3 liter V8, which is a really good engine.
It's a great motor, yeah. With the long block, you're in that $5,000-$6,000 range.
If they took care of it like they're saying, which is evident because of the miles, did you guys own that from new?
They did, yeah.
That's crazy. Is it your everyday driver?
Yeah, but I'm retired, so we don't drive a lot. We like I say, I live in the mountains, and we don't drive much there.
Yeah, I
we drive it down to Arizona, and
it's a good mountain car.
So, who would you recommend do that?
The guy sitting next to me.
Yeah, we do those every day.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want a used engine. If you've really kept up the maintenance and you don't think you're going to be putting other stuff, you want to get a good rebuilt, just like Kevin said, a Jasper, something that has a warranty. What are Jasper's warranties now?
Jaspers are 3 years unlimited, and LKQ just stepped it up to 4 years unlimited.
So is LKQ a little cheaper?
Similar price.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a comparable engine because it's been great.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Yeah. So how will I know when to do that?
I'd wait till the other one breaks or has serious problems.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught anywhere, but you'll start noticing maybe a tick in the morning or something. You'll start hearing a noise, maybe a little smoke, or it'll probably give you a warning. I wouldn't rush out and do it till you had to.
Okay.
What I cannot believe.
And so
I honestly can't believe how many miles are on that engine right now.
Oh, yeah.
Those are that strong.
If you take care of them, absolutely.
Is that the same
Yeah,
one that
it
would
is
have
a
been in the
great car.
Chevy Blazer?
Well, they had the 5.7. This is the the new generation 5.7. It's just a 5.3 liter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what
Yeah.
other questions do you have, Elida?
I think that's it. But so when I do the engine, should I do the transmission as well?
I would. There's no, you're not going to,
Okay.
because there's no labor involved in doing the transmission at that time.
Does Jasper do those?
Yep.
Okay.
Or
correct.
you have Jeff Vick. Actually, the cool part about Jeff Vick, he can take the transmission you have now and he can rebuild it fully. Your exact transmission, just, completely rebuild the innards and then give it back to Kevin, and Kevin can put that with the engine all back together.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they work together. Kind
Oh,
of.
yeah.
Okay.
Jeff and I do all the time.
Yeah, so Jeff's got he might even have one on the shelf. I don't know how popular that engine. Do you think he'd have one rebuilt?
It's a little older, but he may have one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of stuff
Yeah.
for different municipalities. All Jeff does is transmissions. The guy lives and breathes transmissions.
Okay.
All right? Thanks, Elida.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, do you buy the engine like right out of the box? I mean, is it brand new?
No,
or?
generally what happens is you bring it to a shop like Kevin's. They're going to pull the old one out. They've got to take all the stuff off of it. Everything that's on that engine, you generally buy what's called a long block. The long block doesn't have like valves and valve covers or all the gaskets set. So he'll pull the old one off, take all the parts that need to be transferred to the new engine, and then buy a gasket kit. And the gasket kit is all new gaskets for the valve covers. It's new for the oil pan, any kind of gaskets. It's an install kit.
Okay.
So you buy the install kit. He pulls everything off the old one. The new long block comes in. He puts everything that needs to be transferred, and then they install the engine into your truck. Meantime, you're left with a core. That core, your old engine, is shipped back to Jasper or LKQ, wherever they buy it from, and that's a big part of the cost. That core could be, what, $500, $1,000?
Yeah, we just bought one for a Dodge. It's $1,500 core.
Yeah, so that core is $1,500. So that, you would have to pay that if you didn't have the core. So you don't buy one out like you're thinking. You have a shop do all that. And then Jeff, meantime, would ship them over a transmission, or Kevin would bring them your transmission and he'd fully rebuild it and then bring it back. But it's very, how long do you think all that would take, Kevin?
Less than a week.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty quick for the vehicle you have.
Yep.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
Elida.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. 303-713-8255. That's a good mountain car. Total side note, then I'll go to Gary. Gary, hold tight. After the break, he's got a question on Sleeves Brigade. But what do you think? Let's talk cars real quick. It's car day. My favorite mountain, I won't call it a mountain car, my snow car, my go-to. So we've got a Genesis SUV. We've got a Tesla. And then we have a Santa Fe.
And this Tesla's not it.
Definitely not the Tesla. I put snow tires on that Santa Fe and keep them on all year round because we almost never drive it in the summer. That thing is my favorite snow car. It's my go-to when it's snowing, going up to the mountains. I'm not afraid anybody's going to scratch or ding it. It's not even that old, but it's a Santa Fe. Sure. It's not, it's not something else. What is if you lived up in the mountains, let's say you live in Bailey or somewhere, what is that one snow truck? In fact, people out there listening, if you actually do live up there, what is that? I don't think it's Subarus.
No, but I don't even think it's the vehicle. It's the tires. I think you can
tires are big time.
You can put good tires on almost anything.
Well, to a degree, but like my Tesla. Okay, Tesla's different.
Okay, that's a whole different animal. But
Doc, what do you have? You've got a Subaru. Yeah, those Subarus, I see them everywhere. I mean,
people don't want to spend the money on Blizzaks, but they're magical.
They're unbelievable.
In the snow and ice.
Oh, especially in the mountains.
Yeah.
I love snow tires. I have my kids buy them each year for their cars.
Yes.
Snow tires are very important,
But don't
especially
you need
my daughter's in
four-wheel or
Wyoming.
all-wheel drive?
What'd you say, Doc?
Don't you need four-wheel or all-wheel drive?
I prefer all-wheel drive, yeah. In the mountains.
Worst scenario, front wheel. Rear wheel sucks.
Yeah, but Mark, it's baffling. Like with my SUV GV80,
So the
they
tires
put
won't help, will they, Kev,
performance
if you have
tires
front-wheel
on it.
drive?
Pardon me,
Doc,
Doc.
you got to put your headphones on because other people are talking.
Yeah, they put performance tires on my GV80 and not snow tires. I mean, that's just crazy if you ask me.
Yeah, so the rear tires are like 22-inch. Yeah, they're basically racing slicks.
They are.
And then the front tires are the same brand and style, but they're a lot smaller.
Yep.
So putting snow tires on that, I mean, it would solve the problem, but it could be $3,000.
Sure.
Easily $3,000.
But any one of the European four-wheel drives or Japanese four-wheel drives with good tires, they're like little tanks.
All right, Gary's got a question about Sleaze Brigade. If you're new to the show, I want you to go to sleazebrigade.com. Go there right now. They're the bad people, the worst of the worst, like Don Eiley that scammed over $10 million out of small businesses around Colorado that ended himself up in a 10-plus year sentence in federal prison. They're scumbags. Most of them have ripped so many people off. It's incredible. We'll talk about that and a lot more. 2 lines open, 303-713-TALK.
Question for you, Mark.
Hold on a second, Doc.
If you're not doing a spot.
Spots popping. You've been struggling with that diet. I need to tell you something. The guys at Denver Regen, well, let's put it this way. You've heard of that new powerful once-a-week weight loss drug. It's all the rage. You can just Google it, and it actually works. Now, I want you to see a doctor and make sure it's right for you, but the guys at Denver Regen have made it affordable. Most of these clinics and doctors, it can be $1,200 to $2,000 a month. This is genuine semaglutide. It's compounded in a U.S. pharmacy right here. The doctor consult is included. I want you to call these guys up and listen to this price. $250 a month. You're not going to get a better price than that. That includes everything. The doctor's visit. That also includes all the medication. And this stuff really works. Now, there is some side effects. That's why I want you to consult a doctor on this stuff. Consult your own, consult their. But if you've been struggling with weight loss, this is the real deal. I want you to just Google it. Semaglutide. I hope I'm saying that right. Semaglutide. I want you to check it out. It's kind of a miracle. People have called it a miracle drug when it comes to weight loss. Do the research. Give these guys a call. $250 a month for everything. 720-583-1648. Call them right now. They're taking new patients right now. 720-583-1648 or denverregen.com. Lazy Days RV. They used to be a dealership where the GM's name was Ray, and he was an absolutely great guy. It was called Century RV. So the owner sold to Lazy Days, but kept Ray on as a general manager. So it's the same great crew down there, but they brought on a lot more technicians. They have a massive service center, and they work on any kind of RV, inside and out, down there in Longmont. It's unbelievable. Plus, they sell anything you can imagine, from fifth wheels and Class A's and Class C's and Class B's and pop-ups and toy haulers. You name it, they sell it. And what Lazy Days brought to the table is some of the best pricing on new RVs you'll ever see. God, they're unbelievable. And you're going to be so happy when you leave there. You're always happy when you leave Lazy Days RVs. You know, sometimes whether you buy a car or something, you have that buyer's remorse. You're going to love the experience at Lazy Days RV. Check them out at lazydays.com. That's lazydays.com. Art of Granite, Mitch Floria, my friend, my buddy, the guy that made our kitchen look absolutely gorgeous with new countertops, our bathroom upstairs, our laundry room, our bathroom downstairs. They have granite quartz, man-made materials, natural stone. You get a free sink if you do the bathroom. And check this out. They give estimates. Not only do they got great pricing, but they give estimates over the phone. You can go to theartofgranite.com, call up Mitch, take a few pictures, whatever he needs. He'll give you an estimate over the phone. But listen to this. They're the only shop that I know that sells stone that they sell it at a wholesale price. They make it on the labor. You can pick out whatever stone. Heck, you can bring it from somewhere else if you want. But they will sell you the stone at cost. They will sell it at a wholesale cost to you, and then they charge you the labor to install it. And right now in January, 20% off. It doesn't get any better than that. Would you do me a favor and call up Mitch right now? Get a quote. There's no harm in it. It's over the phone. Theartofgranite.com. Surprise a wife. Surprise a husband. Theartofgranite.com.
Hey, Mark, I have a consumer question for you.
Yes, sir.
is now a terrible time to buy a TV? Right before
I don't think there is a good time or bad time for a TV.
I thought after because there's so many TVs get sold because of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't think it
that I
matters.
thought right after the Super Bowl would be a better time to buy one.
I don't think it
you
matters.
You don't think it matters?
I get it either Amazon, Costco, or Sam's.
I'll get it at Costco. I don't have Sam's. I go to Costco.
Or Amazon. You got Amazon, don't you?
Well, I don't have Prime.
Oh. They've got some great my last 2 TVs are from there.
Yeah.
From Amazon or Costco?
Amazon.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I can always have my son order it.
You also what?
Just have my son order it.
I just like the setup and delivery and stuff. Costco.
They'll set it up for you?
For another $50.
Okay.
You know. The TVs you get so damn big you can't fit it on anything.
Yeah, I know.
So you gotta have
Yeah, I can't believe I dropped my TV.
Oh my God, the impossible puzzle. It's all
I
clear
was
pieces.
trying to. I got an antenna so you can get
That
local
seems like
stations.
no fun.
So you try to plug
Have you
it
heard
in?
about? Did I tell you about the QR
well, I
code
was
one?
It was hung on
Or
the
if
wall,
you-
right?
No, it was
Yeah,
on
it's
a
QR code puzzle.
mantle over the
And then if
fiber.
you scan it, if you put
I
it,
just
if you
slipped out
get
of
it
my
together and then you scan it, there's money in it for you.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, anywhere from $5 to
I
$100,000
should have waited to have
or
somebody there with
something.
me.
My wife
Have my son come
recently
over.
got her one of the edgeless ones. So there's
Well,
no
it's called you
flat
to go, you know,
corners or
just gets.
anything.
But they're-
It's a round puzzle.
Yeah.
Every
How big a
piece
TV you
has
wanna get?
jaggy edges.
Probably
Does
65.
she like puzzles?
At times.
I don't know
yeah,
whether
I'm
to get
into it right now.
OLED or QED
Yeah.
or.
None of that really matters.
So it's like a no edge.
Well,
That's
some of it
kinda how
does.
I am.
Like that little red round thing.
This here?
Yeah, so that's the puzzle. And each
Yeah, it's just for basically movies and sports.
the indents and the out pieces and all that. Yeah.
Oh, that would.
And
Oh,
sports
I
is
don't know.
almost all-
You're
it's
right. I don't know if I
always-
want something like that.
Almost
then. Ooh,
sports are.
I'm looking for a
almost
cool puzzle though.
Yep.
And there's another
Well,
one.
you gotta
that I
watch
got
too,
her.
because a lot of TVs will come without a
No image whatsoever.
modem where
so
you
it's
can
just
use a
gray.
computer too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know,
And there are extra pieces. that
Wow.
don't go to
Are
the
you a
puzzle.
mean husband?
She wanted challenging.
She wants the challenging ones.
Yeah.
Oh my! You should get her the QR
She's
code
like,
one.
I'm so tired of these, 1,000 pieces.
Did she mention she gave up on one?
I was like, okay.
Okay, first off,
There you go.
Dragon, Kevin, Mark got me this cardboard model put together Titanic. You know where it's kind of foamy. Like I finally
3D
said, I'm
puzzle.
not doing this. I put like 3/4 of it together, and then last night I said, just return it. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like cardboard pieces that punch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3D, but
Yeah.
it's not a real
Yeah,
puzzle.
my grandfather was huge into the 3D puzzles, so you'd build like the Statue
Yeah, but
of
those are
Liberty.
puzzle pieces, right? These are not puzzle pieces.
Okay.
These are
So
just
it's like an actual model.
yes, a
Okay.
cardboard model. And I'm like, okay, this is no fun. I'm done. I tried though. I'll probably never get a puzzle again from it. It's like gun.
You gotta stick to appliances,
She
Mark.
got Legos.
Stick to appliances.
Oh.
Minifigure faces. I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what my next puzzle's going to be. Maybe I should try a 3D puzzle. Does your wife not like those, or?
They've kind of fallen out of fashion. They're a little bit harder
Oh.
to find.
Are
But
they?
Yeah, the 3D puzzles were a thing for a while.
Yeah, maybe I should find a 3D one that's actual puzzle pieces.
Yeah, my grandfather was a big fan of those ones.
That's cool, like castles and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. The Statue of Liberty, Big Ben.
Yeah,
Eiffel Tower,
cool, coolio, wow.
Wealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. We got some lines open, 303 Martino. You know, we've got a question on the Sleaze Brigade I'm going to go to, but this Denver hospital system, this is crazy. I looked up on the news. I saw it on CNN, and then I looked over and I saw it on Fox, and then about an hour later, I see it again. It's, I guess, a top story. So I went and looked at the local stuff. It's a bad deal. They're saying the whole system at the one hospital downtown, they're losing money. 2 years ago, over $35 million, millions last year. The only reason they kind of bailed out and made it last year is they got $20 million either from the feds or the state. I'm not sure where it came from. But they have, 9,000 people that don't have health insurance that show up, and it's everything from emergency dental to anything else. it kind of blows me away. I guess it's Denver General. Does that sound right? Is that a
It used to be
hospital?
called Denver General.
Yeah, Denver General.
Denver General. I mean, it sounds horrible, Doc. They're saying it's to a critical point that they're turning people away right now.
Well, they have no choice unless it's an acute emergency. If somebody comes in bleeding from a gunshot wound,
Yeah.
they're not going to turn them away.
Well, it sounds like it's triage down there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. The 8,000 illegal immigrants, yeah, I'll call them what they are. I mean, they're here. They're not here with a visa or a passport or anything. They're illegal immigrants. They came across the border. Think of what you want, but, I mean, that's what they are. And, boy, does that tax the system. It's crazy. I don't understand how the administration has allowed it to get to this point. I honest to God don't. I just don't.
Yeah, the immigration problem is out of control.
It's crazy. In fact, everybody seems to see it except for the president. And I'm sure the agenda is get him in here so eventually they can vote for him because he let him in, but they can't get jobs legally. They can't do anything. There was no thought behind this. If you want to have mass immigration, fine. If the majority of the people in the country want to have that and they vote for that president, that's how the country works. So that's how it should be. But when there's no plan, I mean, you can't even hire these folks. Kevin?
No, they're all in limbo.
They're in total limbo.
Yeah,
But they're getting housing. In fact, in New York, I read they're closing some schools so the kids can't go to school because they got to house the migrants.
Putting the kids on the, what do you call it, what they do with COVID?
Yeah.
Online school.
Online school,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable. But this thing is now national news here in Denver. This mayor coming in, he's got to deal with the homeless, too, which I think he's done horrible with. He keeps talking about it, but nothing happens.
Well, now we want to get
That's
him
all
job-
they do. I'll tell you what, that's all most of these politicians do. More on the left. I'll say it, more on the left. It's all lip service. It's 100% lip service. They tell you what you want to hear so they get your vote or they get to stay in office, and then that's all there is to it.
It's a lot of money involved,
We're
too.
all the peons down here. Honest to God, that's how they see the world. They want one world government where they're the kings and the rest of us are peons, and we're happy to get our little morsels and our scraps.
Sure.
And they're turning Denver into it, and
They
I think
are.
it really sucks. What's the new guy's name? Mike Johnson?
Yeah.
Johnston.
Johnston?
Yep.
I mean, he came in saying he was going to fix stuff. He hasn't done crap. What has he done?
1,000 people he was going to have housed.
How many's he got housed?
He spent $100 million. I don't know how many.
100
he
million.
housed.
You know, and then here's the other thing.
180 million off the next budget to go to migrants.
180 million.
They were able to do the 1,000 here in Denver, but I personally question those numbers because it was like a 6-month plan or whatsoever, and 4.5 months, he only did like 300.
Yeah, and
then it's 6,000.
Then it was boom, 1,000.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't quite understand that.
Well,
so,
here's the
curious.
other thing about homeless. I'm going to tell people a secret out there. You're not going to believe me. A lot of them want to be homeless. Am I incorrect?
No.
A lot of them don't want to be somewhere. If they did, they could go break the law and hang out in jail.
Sure.
They don't want to be cooped to one
They
place.
don't want rules.
They want mobility. They want to be able to get up and beg or do whatever when they want, work when they want, sleep when they want. They want that. What is that called? Not a hobo. What is the
Vagabond.
A vagabond.
Vagabond.
They want that way of life, and that's just the way it is. And some people who do drugs, this should be a surprise to you, don't want to get off drugs. They don't. They simply don't. They want more drugs. So trying to take people that don't want to be off drugs and don't want to live in a home and trying to convert them into the society that they already decided they didn't want to be a part of is just absurdity. It's absurdity. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some people, but how would you feel? I would like for some homeless people to give us a call, 303 Martino. I want to know your real thoughts on the immigration, meaning all of a sudden you're battling, maybe when it's really cold out, you can't get a bed because the migrants are there. Or maybe you go to get that meal and you can't get it because the migrants are there. I would like to know, is that a competing part? Dragon, you do Michael Brown's show. You guys talk politics all the time. For the life of me, what does Denver think? What do Brown's callers think of what's going on? Now, he leans way to the right. I mean, I get that. He worked for the Bush administration. He was the head of FEMA, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, what Well, like literally though, what are the feedbacks? You guys ever have a homeless guy call in?
We do a lot of interactions through the talkback function as well as the text functions, and a lot of the people, I don't think we get many homeless that would call or talk back or whatnot.
God, we do.
But the belief is that they are just taxing the system. There's just too much going on right now, and the city is being, for lack of a better word, too kind to them by providing absolutely everything that they need at any whim or give and take.
And it doesn't do anything. Have you ever heard of the term like a spoiled, rotten child? You raise a kid and you give him anything he wants. When he screams, you shove ice cream down his pie hole. When he wants a new toy and throws a fit in Walmart, you run and get it so he shuts up. What do you think that kid's going to do later on? You just can't give people everything they want, but not train them how to do something. What's it called? Teach a man to fish. But once again, circling back around, there's a lot of guys that don't want to learn how to fish. Gary, I appreciate your holding through my diatribe there. What is going on?
That's all right. Hey, Mark. I had sent you and Tom a list of a nominee for the Sleeves Brigade.
Who is it?
And his name is Neil Christian Smith with True Freedom Hot Tubs. And
okay, I'm gonna come clean on something, man. I'm gonna come very clean on the Sleeves Brigade. I love it. I nominate people. I have nothing to do with it. I don't type on it. I don't write up articles. I don't put pictures. And I'm going to be very transparent. The reason Tom does that, and Tom only, is he owns the domain, which has nothing to do with it. But from the liability aspect, one thing Tom does better than anybody I know, and he has taught me very well, but I am still not comfortable with the written word. He is very straightforward on these. There is no lies. If you read about it, if it's alleged, it's alleged. If it happened, it happened. So I know who you are, Gary. You had that guy that lives in your neighborhood rip you off on your hot tub. I know who you are. Tom does have the information. I probably have it too, but I do not put it up on there. So I'm totally throwing Tom under the bus on this one. But I have no choice because I simply don't do that aspect. He was a journalist for years. He was out there before even the Troubleshooter stuff. He'd be the guy out there reporting on a mob, or the guy, what was that bridge that collapsed in New York?
Florida. Was it Florida?
Or Florida. And all these people ran right off the bridge. He was the local news guy out there. And prior to that, he was newspaper writing articles. So he is very good at doing that and keeping all of our asses out of trouble. That's why you notice when I talk a lot, Gary, I used alleged or in my opinion. But when it comes to the actual articles, Tom does those, man. I will bug him again, but I can't do anything about that.
This guy's gotten 4 people. He's done the same thing to 4 different people, and the word needs to get out there. He's just a total scumbag.
I got you, man. And you've called enough times. I'm going to bug. Suzanne, would you email Tom? Get the guys.
I'll bug him.
Get the hot tub guy's number again, or info again from Gary. I know Tom has. In fact, I think it's sitting there pending, and it needs to be posted. But there's a few things on there I think Tom wanted to correct. All right, folks, lines open, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Hold tight.
They're still playing with that Rust shooting thing?
What's that?
Movie set?
Oh, yep, I guess so. Didn't they find the armorer guilty?
Yeah, I believe so.
Chat AI.
Oh, Neil.
Oh, I'm glad it's Friday.
Bitsandpieces.com, Dragon.
Bitsandpieces.com.
Let's see. Might be, it's not working. No! Damn it.
You know, your dad is turning 80
Maybe you
this
get
year,
her a
right?
clear
80 years old in the 29th of this month.
All right, well, then you should be able to deal with me. If you got, right? I mean, I'm turning 80 this year.
It's
When
not
do you turn
working.
80?
November.
Yep.
How come-
The clearly impossible puzzle, 200 pieces, all pieces.
Is that messed up?
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. See, to me, that just wouldn't be any fun. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
don't think
saying?
people
Like, I
realize
like
some of the
puzzles that are
homeless
fun.
really just want to be home.
But this bitsandpieces.com
I mean, most
is not
people, I
working.
think, that really want a place to stay.
Oh, are
get a
we on a...
There's enough places.
Yes. Most, and I'm sure.
And
there's
same with
some-
druggies.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if let's say you had, okay, I'll tell you a true story. My buddy Larry, he's dead now,
iHeart
but
doesn't allow the
he had one kid
website.
die coming back from California, left Colorado, went there for a month, came back, 19 years old, no seatbelt on. The driver fell asleep, no drugs involved or anything. Vehicle flipped, and he fell out dead. Two of them dead. One of them lived. The driver lived, but he was the only one
You're on it?
with a seatbelt.
Damn.
And then not many years later, his daughter, coming from Wyoming
yeah,
to
that's
here,
what I did,
fell
and then I
asleep
click
at the
on the
wheel.
link,
She was on drugs.
And it told me
Went
to
into a field. You can picture the barren wasteland up there. There's a watershed in the middle of
But
100
it says
acres.
access to
Watershed.
bitsandpieces.com
Hit
is
that.
denied.
I mean, the chances of
You
being
don't have
asleep and hitting that,
authorization to view this.
almost wonder if it was suicide, but
I'm gonna
but
go to Mozilla. Maybe
he was on drugs. And he was on booze big time. He was a bad alcoholic. In fact, he died from it. He died from his liver and alcoholism, but he didn't want to live without being drunk.
Sure.
And you weren't going to convince him any other way.
No, you can fix it.
Now,
His life was so bad, in his opinion. Yeah, baby.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're behind on House.
Oh, okay. Compass coming up.
Troubleshooter Show. What is your first name?
So this is interesting.
Tracy, in a sentence or
at
less. What did you want to
Costco,
talk to Mark about on the show today?
65-inch TV you can get for about $475 for regular TV. If you want a QLED, it's $1,000
For
more.
HELOC loan?
That's what I just bought.
All right, HELOC loan advice.
QLED?
Yeah, I bought a
Perfect. You shouldn't be long. Hang
55-inch
tight. Listen
for
to the
my bedroom.
All right.
And then I put
let's
my
see
bedroom
what
one
interesting
in.
puzzles are on bits and pieces. Oh,
How much you pay for it?
It was a Christmas deal. It was
Yeah, Christmas was crazy.
$299 for the
What?
for the OLED. Yep.
Yep. When they first came out, like the Samsung
okay. New
was like
puzzles.
top
Best.
of the line. They were about $3 grand.
puzzles.
They've got a good brand though, man. I like Fire Stick way better than I like Roku, so I buy all Fire Stick. I'll tell you the brand here. I've got a bunch of them.
Some of the cheaper ones, though, you end up having to get a sound bar to have sound.
Yeah.
Because the sound is so bad.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
We've got a sound bar. Even on, let me see here. If I go to my...
Shop by theme. Let's see. I'm looking, Neil. I'm looking at puzzles
Tracker manager orders,
on bits and pieces.
TV.
Yeah, just wait for Christmas, Doc.
You have no TV right now?
No, I do. I have one. The one in my
But it's
bedroom.
like his cell phone.
The one in
It's got
my
little-
living room broke,
it's got little
so I put the
cracks.
one like you did. I put the one from the bedroom into the living room.
Oh, let's see here.
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't want to miss the football games.
Yeah. Screw it to the wall this time.
Yeah, here it is, man. TCL 55-inch Q6 QLED 4K smart TV.
How much?
Let me see. View order details.
See, I've seen those TCLs. I've never really looked that hard at them.
$299.99.
Wow. I have a TCL. TCLs are great.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue with one.
No, you know what the thing is? TCL is a Chinese brand.
They're all Chinese brands. Unless
Well,
it
no,
came
no.
out of
Ooh,
Korea,
a
they're all
glow-in-the-dark
Chinese.
No, they're Samsung and
That'd be kinda
something
fun.
else is Korean.
Yeah, but like LG and
LG is Korean.
white.
Yeah, but Sony's still
Westinghouse.
Japanese. You know, places. They're
No,
still-
but I don't care like where the
the
company's located.
components are made in Japan
Yeah, okay, I see what
or
you're saying.
made in China.
In China.
Yeah.
TCL did what Panasonic did. When Panasonic first came out to challenge Sony, they made their products cheap so that they could get into the market.
What size did you want?
65. And TCL did the same thing. Because I bought what I have now is a TCL.
75 or 65?
65.
65. Funny thing is, people buy them and then return them after the Super Bowl.
That's so weird.
You looking at Amazon or Costco?
Amazon. Here's a Samsung 747
An airplane or a TV?
TV.
10 seconds, guys.
Oh, Amazon. Here's the Fire.
Denver.com. Denver's talk station. 630 KHOW.
Compass Insurance, home of the free insurance checkup. What does that mean? That means if you've had the same insurance company for multiple years, maybe you had a claim years ago, maybe you had a claim this year. If you don't reshop for that homeowners, you're crazy. Same with auto insurance. When there's life-changing moments like when your 15-year-old kid turns 16 and gets his license, holy moly, you better watch out. You're going to be shocked at the price of insurance. But that's where Compass steps in, and they shop all the companies out there for you. They shop for us once a year. They shop our homeowners. They shop our RV. They shop our motorcycle. They shop our car insurance. They shop our umbrella. They find us the best deal and the best coverage. The other thing is with Compass, I want to tell you, a lot of people are underinsured now. We learned that in the Boulder fires a couple years ago. You realize 95% of people, it might have been 97, were underinsured when that fire hit. Imagine that. Imagine a total wipeout of your house, and you only get a fraction of what it costs to rebuild. Make sure you have the proper coverage. Make sure you're getting the best price. Make sure you're using the right guys. That's compassinsurance.com. You send them over the deck pages. They're either going to beat it, and if they can't beat it, they're going to tell you, hey, you're in a good position right now. I wouldn't move. They're honest. compassinsurance.com. Now, I need to bring something up, then I'm going to go directly to Tracy. She wants some advice on HELOCs. I know a lot about that, Tracy. But something happened over, well, it wasn't even over the weekend. It was yesterday, and I need some opinions here.
Uh-oh.
It was sad. You know, what is that old saying? Quitters never quit.
Oh, God.
What is
Here
it?
we go.
What is it? It's someone help me out. Quitters never quit. Damn, I'm forgetting the whole thing. Maybe I started off bad. Here's the deal, though. Quitters shouldn't quit, right? I mean, if you quit something, I mean, just by definition, you're a quitter. So I want to ask people this, especially men out there, or women that are married to women.
Oh, my God.
Here's the question. You buy your loved one something beautiful, something she's passionate about, something she wants to do. Let's just use an example. Let's say she really likes puzzles, loves puzzles, loves doing puzzles, loves sitting there talking while doing puzzles, likes doing puzzles with friends, likes doing puzzles while watching TV, likes puzzles. I think you get it. Now, you're the spouse, and you're thinking, man, she loves puzzles. Gosh, I love my wife, and she loves puzzles.
She's probably even looking for puzzles right now on Amazon.
She's probably looking for puzzles. I'm going to surprise her with a puzzle. And I heard her talk about these very expensive 3D puzzles, not the $10 puzzle, not the $20 puzzle, not the $30 puzzle.
Oh, you're really stepping up.
Not the $60 puzzle. We're talking a $70 3D puzzle. I'm going to buy my lovely wife, my bride of 30 years, a puzzle because she loves puzzles. So you buy her the puzzle, and you're all quiet, and you're just getting all excited before Amazon shows up, and you want to give it to her. It's after Christmas. She's not expecting anything, but it's your way of showing your love. And the puzzle shows up. Amazon's at the door. Oh, my God, I'm so happy. I run out, and I grab the puzzle. And I say, thank you, Amazon driver, for the puzzle. It's going to make my wife so happy, my bride of 30 years of love of my life.
Oh, dear.
The puzzle. And I bring it in, and I put it down. I said, here's the puzzle. And then your wife looks at you and goes, oh, my God, a puzzle. I love the puzzle. And she finishes the other puzzle she's finishing up, and she does a great job. And she takes a picture of puzzles when she finishes them and puts them online to show her accomplishments to everybody. And that puzzle that she just finished, by the way, was given to her by her best friend, Trish.
Kevin, you got an extra room?
It was given to her.
Hey, Mark,
it was given.
The biggest puzzle is why she married you.
Doc. It was given to her. It was given to her by her best friend, and it sat there for a while, and then she started saying, I've got to finish this. Trish gave it to me. So she finishes the puzzle, and she's got the new 3D puzzle right there, ready to start from her husband, her mate of 30-plus years, the man that loves her more than anything. Everybody, hold on. I got to take this break, and I'll finish.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
We're back to easy driving throughout the Denver Metro for the noon hour commute. I-25 north and southbound showing highway speeds through town. A couple brief busy patches around the downtown area, but nothing too out of the ordinary there.
Tomorrow warming up a bit with a high of 40. Sunday between highs and 50. Current temperature today is that high 30 with your impact traffic and weather. Mark Swan, 6:30 KM.
This is Lee Hood, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of General Robert E. Lee's life after his surrender to Pepperman. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
To put it straight, the nation's best selection of RVs, travel trailers, and motorhomes. In fact, you can browse thousands of units, including the most popular fifth wheels. How about towable travel trailers you can tow with virtually any SUV? How about toy haulers, pop-ups, on and off-road pop-ups with the big mud tires? You can get the most of your trade-in with Lazy Days as well. Yeah, I gave it up. It's Lazy Days RV. They used to be Century RV. They came in and they bought out Century. They added a ton more staff. They added better deals, better financing, and what I call the Lazy Days experience. When you go in there, whether you're just looky-looing or shopping and buying, these guys will make sure your experience is what you expect from a professional company. You're going to be very happy you purchased from them, like the other hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that have. Class A diesels, Class A gas, Class Bs, Cs, fifth wheels, toy haulers. Need I say more? Go to lazydays.com. Great service, unbelievable pricing, great financing, and inventory that's outstanding. Lazydays.com. That's lazydays.com. Now, let's talk about Frank Duran, the real estate man. If you're looking on YouTube right now, I've got my hands up as if I'm praying to God. You know why? Because Frank Duran is the best negotiator I've ever seen in my life. He got us more for our house than I ever expected when we sold our one in Castle Rock. He negotiated the one we bought in Franktown down over $100,000 5 years ago. You know how he did it? He found out that they had two mortgages, one on the house that had been sitting empty that we purchased, and then a brand new mortgage on a house they bought in Georgia. They had two mortgages on very expensive properties. They were spending $10,000, $12,000 a month just on interest between the two. We made them a cash offer because Frank said this is how we'll get the best price. We told them they only had 3 days to decide. He put them right there. He put them up against the wall and said, take it or leave it. They took it. He saved us a ton of money, and we love the house. We love Frank. You want the best realtor out there that sells more homes in 1 month than most realtors sell in over a year. That's Frank Duran. FrankDuranHomes.com. FrankDuranHomes.com.
So you still on a list for the Tesla truck?
Yeah.
Are you serious about that?
Yeah, I'll buy it. Absolutely will buy it. I'd probably get rid of the Santa Fe, maybe. I don't know. I got to sell the Santa Fe pretty quick anyhow.
Why, you hitting mileage or something?
Yeah, it's coming up on 50. I always sell them before bumper to bumper. It's a 2020. There's plenty of years. It's just, but we don't drive it much. This winter we have, but other than that, I don't like it. The Genesis basically drives itself. It's got level 2 self-driving. The Tesla basically drives itself.
Do you use that function, Mark?
All the time.
Really, you let it drive itself?
What's that?
Do you let the car drive itself often?
Almost all the time on the highway.
Wow.
Yeah. Quite a bit, actually, Doc. You're still paying attention. You got to have pressure on the wheel, or else it'll kick off. It's not like a real autopilot, but the Tesla is about as close as it gets. And if you have the Beta, it is a real autopilot, but you still have to be on the wheel.
Yeah.
And they do that for liability. In fact, honestly, they just made it harder. I don't know what they did, but they had a recall, and almost every recall Tesla has is software update.
Yep.
Like 99% of them. So about 3 weeks ago, I get in, and it said it didn't update overnight. Just didn't think about it. And I put, as we were leaving the house, I put it on autopilot because I'm drinking my coffee, I'm getting my phone connected, I'm doing my stuff. And
while the car's moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it starts bitching, which it only usually does after 30 seconds. It started bitching almost immediately. So it took me a second, and then it kicked me out. And what Tesla does is, if it tells you to pay attention and you don't pay attention, and it tells you 2 times or 3 times, it'll turn off autopilot altogether.
Wow.
You can't use it until you pull over, put it in park, and go again.
That's a good idea, actually.
So it kicked me out, and I couldn't do it until I came to a stop sign a ways up. But then I started playing with it on that trip, and since then, and they updated it. It's way more sensitive now.
I think it's amazing that they can update every Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
I think the news totally, the ones that hate him because of X and everything, the ones that don't like him, they make it sound, oh, they've got 2 million recalls, or every call was recalled. Yeah, they hit one button.
Right.
And it's done. You don't have to bring it anywhere.
That's what amazes me. That
Well, they could call it an update instead of a recall.
No, but technically it's a recall.
But technically your update is a recall.
Yeah.
Because it's fixing a problem.
And how cool is that, though?
Yeah.
I was watching this one show on Netflix, so I don't know. There was some kind of war going on, and these people lived across the river from like New Jersey or from New York. I don't know if they were in the Hamptons or where, but they were somewhere like that. And all the Teslas, someone hacked into the Tesla systems and made all the Teslas drive to a bridge. And they basically clogged the entire bridge with little Model 3s, so no one could cross the bridge. And I was thinking, that's not that far-fetched,
That's not
man.
that far-fetched.
If you're in the right place at Tesla, you could literally tell my car to go drive somewhere.
All Teslas turn left.
God.
Yeah.
But it was really
They must
smart
have
how
a
they
hell of
thought
a
about it.
firewall, though.
Yeah.
House spot. House
Inflation
spot.
migration.
You only have like 20 seconds coming back.
That's more than enough. Who needs more than that?
You got a love song you can kind of hot down and play in the background.
Oh God.
Oh, here you go. You'll like Taylor Swift. We're gonna bump back with. See.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255. We got a couple lines open. We're going to go to the phones, but I know people are on the edge of their seat about my puzzle story. So here I am. I get the puzzle, and I'm so happy. I bought it for my wife of 30 years, my lovely wife, the woman I just going to spend the rest of my life together, the apple of my eye, the Ritz in my cracker. Whatever it is, you guys get the idea. So I hand her the puzzle. She finishes up the other puzzle, by the way, that a friend gave her, just a friend. And she made sure to do it because it was sitting there for
Only
a friend.
Yeah.
I give her the puzzle, and I'm so happy. I'm smiling from ear to ear, proud of myself. Oh, my God, am I going to have to wait to finish the story again?
Well, you got to give me time to reply
There'll be no...
to get the other side
There'll be
in.
no
This is a fair
replies in
show.
this story.
It's like a double tease, Mark.
Everybody hold on. There's a lot going on, and I mean
a
it.
double
We'll be
tease.
back after this.
Are they like three-dimensional, like block puzzles, that kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about? Like three-dimensional
But
block
honestly, I
puzzles?
forgot about the puzzle story.
It's a puzzle.
Is that what you're talking about, Mark?
It's a puzzle.
No, but is it
Yeah,
like...
it's a 3D.
Okay. There was one I saw on YouTube that was $14,000 because there were only 3 of them left in the world.
What was it?
There was like 14 grand.
For what?
For a puzzle.
Oh.
That
What was it of?
It had basically 2 pieces of wood with a hole going through it, okay? With 3 pieces. You had a bottom and top and a thing that slides up and down and a rope that went through it.
Sounds like a sex toy.
And the guy lifted up the middle part, and the rope was still able to move. It was just,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was bizarre.
Puzzle people.
$14,000.
There's only 3 of them in the world.
It'd be cruel and unusual. Somebody does puzzles. You hide one of the pieces.
Here's the world's largest puzzle.
Oh, how
I wonder
big
how
is
many
it?
pieces this is.
Oh, they're not listening.
Holy shit. What a wonderful world. The world's largest puzzle. 749 smackaroos. 8 feet tall. Hold on. Tall. 8 feet tall and 29 inches long.
You got room for that for Carla?
How many pieces?
No.
A couple thousand?
Maybe.
Crafted into 60
feet by
extra
how much feet
large 1,000 piece
It'd
puzzles.
be sitting on a
This
floor.
supersized puzzle
Well,
can
I
be
mean,
In a
done in
basement.
Once it's
sections.
done, we can put it on a wall. We've got some
Look at them. There's 2 people carrying it.
Yeah.
That is one big puzzle. Look at that.
Wow.
Now that's a puzzle.
That's a puzzle.
Good thing I didn't buy that $750 puzzle. Ooh, boy, that'd be a big one. $750 for a puzzle.
Yeah, but you're rich. You can afford it.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't know if it would ever get done.
Oh, whatever.
What do they say? A
God,
gift-
you're an ass.
Never lift,
I'll
never
never
another
hear the end
gift
of it.
horse. What is that? Something
Don't
with
look
a
a gift
horse.
horse in the mouth.
Yeah, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Perfect example of what's going on around here. Perfect example. I wish we had a hotline to Dr. Laura. I wish we could get her on for some puzzle advice.
She might have told me to leave your ass ages ago.
You know, our old program director was her producer. Did you know that, Dragon?
Spence?
Oh, hell no.
Oh.
Who
Who was right before Spence?
Oh,
It was Dr. Laura's program.
Josh?
I'm Dr. Laura Schlesinger.
Was it Josh?
Meet Dr. Laura.
had a
And Dan, what is it? Dan? Dr. Laura. It's Dan something. Dr. Laura, producer from way back.
Not,
Dan, I'll know it as soon as I see it. Laura Schlesinger. And I'm your host, Dr. Laura Schlesinger. God, what the hell was his name?
Dan Mandis?
Dan Mandis, thank you.
It just came to me like that, Draken. It was like, right, like I just had to dig way back in the file.
He
You know?
was our program probably before you then, Dragon.
Yeah, I
huh?
don't remember a Dan Mandis here.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't spend much time up here on the floor, so.
he was a good guy, man. I liked him a lot. Dan Mandis. Yep. How'd you know that? Did you look it up?
No, you said Dan, and I was like, God, I know you. I'm looking at his picture. I just want to see what he looks like. Huh.
Yeah, Laura show. Laura announced that Dan was leaving the show. This was pretty hard
Thanks,
for him.
Casper.
This was 2016. Yeah, I liked him. He was a good program director, honestly. I'll never forget Tim when I left
Spence?
early when Tom was here. Or,
Oh, man.
not Tom Martino, but a good friend of ours, Tommy, flew in or drove in from Oklahoma for Thanksgiving. And it was
Yeah.
like Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I'm just itching to get out for the long weekend. Haven't seen our friends for a while. So Shannon was doing it. And I said, Shannon, would you do me a favor? I've got some best ofs potted up. For the last hour, just come back. It might even be for the last half hour. I said, just run a best of at the last and do like live so we can do all the commercial inventory. And Shannon's like, no problem. Don't worry about it. So Suzanne and I and our company take off and we go up to Idaho Springs.
Shannon was probably laughing under his breath.
No,
Like,
I don't think Shannon, I don't think it was anything to do with Shannon, but so we're up there. And my buddy Tommy's funny as hell. He goes, man, you really run that place, don't you? He goes, holy smokes, I never saw nothing like that. He's like 80-something. Man, you just told that guy, I'm not going to finish the show today, run a best of. Man, you got a lot of clout, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way it is around there, you know. Next thing I know, I look down, my fucking phone's ringing, and it says, Tim Spence. And I'm like, what does Tim want? So I answer, hey, Tim, what's up? You son of a bitch. I have been doing radio for 25,000 million years, and not once in the history of any show I have ever done, ever, has a host got up and decided to leave in the middle of the show. And I said, well, Tim, I mean, honestly, I had company in town. I had to get the hell out of here, man. And he continued to just, bitch the shit out of me. Now, Dragon, has that ever happened to you?
Getting bitched out by the PD or the host leaving the show?
The host leaving the show on you. You know, planned.
Semi-planned. Last minute planned.
I would say roughly around the time Rick Lewis had his hip surgery, I think he came back to work a little too soon. And I think he took maybe like the last half hour or hour off or something. But, you know, it's easier to do on a music station.
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't, you know, I don't know. You know this, but it's interesting because I think we're the only ones, at least in Denver Metro, that we own the show. We use iHeart Studio.
Right.
But we don't work for In fact, I think we're the only people in the building that don't work for iHeart.
Dan. I don't think
Dan Kaplis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's your airtime, so you can do whatever the heck you want.
Man, was he pissed. Woo.
You got a house spot.
He wasn't around much longer after that. I'm being serious. He wasn't. Did he get cut with other people or just him? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a group effort.
Yeah, I hate that. We were here for the bloody one years ago. Holy moly, man. It was depressing around here for weeks.
Yeah, I was part of the COVID one.
And then they brought you back.
When Ed, remember Ed? Did you ever know Ed? Oh, I was so disappointed they canned him.
10 seconds.
For this nationwide keyword on our website, check. That's check. Enter it now at khow.com. Inflation salvation on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. In fact, to the tune of over $300 million, exchange refunds, merchandise. You pretty much name it, we've done it. Services. You need help, this is the place to call. Yeah, we have some fun on the way. But honestly, this is the place to call if you've been ripped off. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell anybody you need out there. We give real help. In fact, we recoup money every single day on and off the air. You can always call us when we're not on the air at 303-MARTINO or when we are on the air, 303-MARTINO. You can email us, help@troubleshooter.com. No problem too small, no advice. We love giving advice. Any advice you got, from buying a car to picking out a doctor, you pretty much name it. And if we haven't been down that road and know what's going on, we have a list of people at referrallist.com that do. Referrallist.com is the original list, and it's the only list out there that has teeth. Try calling up a sports guy that has a list and saying, hey, I don't like that HVAC company. You think you'll get on the air? No. You got a problem with one of our people, you can reach out to us anytime. Once again, 303-MARTINO, or right now live, you can do 303-713-8255, help@troubleshooter.com. Now, I'm going to finish this story up quick, then we're going to get back to the phones, but I buy my wife a puzzle. It's a beautiful puzzle. It's a $70 puzzle. It's a puzzle that came from my heart. It was from the heart puzzle. She just finished another puzzle that her friend gave her that was coming into town. So she probably wanted to show her friend she's doing the puzzle. So I hand my wife this puzzle, and I'm so proud of myself because it wasn't her birthday, and I know she loves puzzles. Christmas was over. She wasn't expecting a gift. And here I am handing the love of my life my wife a puzzle.
Well, to be fair, Mark, it wasn't a puzzle. It was one of those cardboard 3D model.
It was a 3D.
It was like the thin cardboard
3D
that's sort
puzzle.
of foamy.
It was
and
a
if you
3D
mess up
puzzle you've been talking about forever.
You are so full of it.
No, I'm not. You said, "Oh, I want to try a
You
3D
are.
puzzle."
Yeah, like a jigsaw puzzle.
That's not a 3D
This
puzzle.
was like not. you're returning it.
Kevin.
So in other words, Mark, you screwed it up.
Kevin, no. It was a $70 gift from the heart.
It was a Titanic cardboard Titanic.
So this is more of a model
It
than a
was
puzzle.
the most beautiful
It popped out of
replica
sheets.
of the Titanic that would look beautiful on top of my bookshelf in my office.
Mark,
I already had a place put out because I knew my
Kevin,
lovely
I know
wife.
you'll listen. It
my
popped out of
bride.
sheets. It popped out.
I know what you're
It
talking
came in
about.
sheets.
Yeah,
It
a
just was
puzzle.
not
It's
my
called
jam.
a puzzle.
Not my jam.
Say puzzle again.
So listen to
But I
this.
did appreciate the thought.
She sits down. She starts on this puzzle. Need I remind
I got
you
like
that
3/4 of the way
she
through
just
it.
finished another puzzle from her friend, just a friend.
It was on her way out.
So she gets about 3/4 of the way through, and this is last night. Last night, I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV, but truly what I'm doing is counting my blessings for being married to this
Yeah.
woman for so long. I'm like blessing 30, blessing 31. They never stop. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, she goes like this. I'm not doing this puzzle. I'm returning it. I'm done. Oh my God, you would have thought I asked for a divorce. You would have thought I kicked her mother or something. It was the most, it was so out there. It was so loud. And I started to tear up. Dragon, I said, man, I bought this puzzle. I surprised her. I thought I was doing right by her.
I can tell it deeply hurts you because you're getting emotional right now.
Right
There's
now,
a little
I am.
glisten in
I'm
your
literally,
eye. Yeah.
I'm to the verge of tears right now. But anyhow, fellas out there, have you ever bought your wife a gift that she asked for, and then they just throw it in your face? Throw it right in your face, Kevin.
That is not fair.
Kevin.
Hey,
That's
stuff
not
goes
fair.
back. It's not all permanent.
She picked it up. She didn't even put it back in the box. She threw it at me, and it cut my ear.
You are so full of it. As the police show up to arrest me.
Oh, yeah, of
She
course.
started yelling and kicking the dog. She was so upset over this.
Oh my God, Mark, you
getting
are
too
drama.
thick in here, man.
It was a hard one.
Wow.
Hey, Tracy, what's going on with this HELOC loan? I appreciate you holding so long.
Hi. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
I acquired a HELOC through my credit union a couple of years ago to do some refinishing of my kitchen. So I think I made a mistake in getting the HELOC in that I think I have like a variable rate of it averages about 10.5% interest. So
Well, a lot of them go off a LIBOR, but let me understand. Where did you get this HELOC? Was it through a bank?
through my credit union, yes, my bank.
And
yes,
then how
credit
much was
union.
the line of credit?
$20,000, and I owe $17,000.
So 20 grand, yeah. And generally they're tied, I'm not going to say all the time LIBOR, but they're tied by some rate. So it could be +2. So if that rate like LIBOR is at 5, it could be a 7%, or it could be +3.
Yes.
It can be whatever you agreed to. But what's the issue with it?
Well, exactly. So when I make a monthly payment of like $300 or $400,
Yeah.
$150 of it goes to interest.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then I ran an amortization schedule. It'll take me 4.5 years to pay off the $17,000. Plus there's a lien, a lien
Second
on
mortgage,
my home.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Which, that's fine. I mean, if I were to sell the house, then that would be paid off. But my question is there another route I could look at? Maybe, I don't want to refinance my house because I have a 2.45% interest rate on my home. I've got about $250,000 in equity, give or take. Is there a program or something I can borrow or get some kind of a, like a cash, I don't know, cash out or what have you against my equity that I already have to pay off this HELOC? Or is there something better that can be recommended?
You bring up a lot of great questions. I want to bring up somebody. Suzanne, let's get either Brent Ivinson up or, who you could reach out to is American Liberty. I can't think of his name, but I like that guy. But if we can get one of those guys up, but I'm going to give you what my gut says. you're probably in the best situation you can be. If you refi, you're going to be paying a lot more in interest on the first, so it's going to offset any savings you have. Any kind of credit card, the only thing I really think about, I don't know if you could qualify for this. I don't know what your terms are, but some of these credit card companies, and there's people that do this and pull it off successfully, they'll send you a check, and that check you can do a balance transfer. So you would have to get a line of credit on a credit card around $20,000, maybe through either Barclay or Capital One has a lot of them, and then have a balance transfer where you pay no interest or say 1% for a year. And then about 9 or 10 months into that, you got to start looking for another one to balance transfer it to.
Wow, I've done those before years ago, and those have worked out well for me. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's about the only way I can think about it, but you have to be very disciplined. You still want to make, let's say your minimum payment right now is $300, and like you said, $150 is interest. You still want to make that $300 payment, so when you cycle it to the next card, it'll be even lower. But there's not going to be any magic.
Hey Tracy, can I ask you a question? Have you tried putting in extra principal every month?
Well, even so, she's still paying massive interest.
I know, but it'll be down. It'll be done much faster.
Yeah, but if
have
she
you tried that?
I just make the payment out of my credit union.
Yeah.
And then what my minimum payment is approximately $150,000. I mean $150. I make a $300 payment, and $100 or so of it goes toward the principal, and then the difference is interest. So I mean, I can't pay anything more than that based on my budget.
No, you can write a
try.
separate check.
The main thing is you want to try to get rid of that interest and pay it down. And that credit card thing will do it. Listen, we got Brent Ivinson. He's the owner of Ideal Home Loans. I got to take this break. Brent, please hold on. Tracy, hold on. Let's pick his brain on it. And I also want to find out from Brent, I'm giving him a clue here, where are rates going, man? It looked like they were going down, Brent, but now I'm hearing they're not going. I'm hearing the Fed might even tick back up. I mean, what's going on? Hold on.
New year?
God, look at that. Parked right in the road, man. I love it. That is the biggest single engine prop fixed wing I think I have ever seen. It's massive.
What's that?
That plane. That looks like something that should have an engine on both sides.
Is it just you're right, it's a small commuter plane.
I got to tell you about Lazy Days RV. I love these guys. I don't care if you're looking for a Class A diesel or a gas, or a Class B, a Class C, a fifth wheel, a toy hauler, a travel trailer. How about a kick butt pop-up for the mountains that you can bring off-road, maybe even tow into the backcountry with a four-wheel ATV? They're incredible, man. Here's what I love about them. They bought out Century RV. They have locations across the country. They have some of the best financing available, bar none. They have a selection of thousands, and I mean thousands of units. You can shop right on their website, lazydays.com. Their service department in Longmont is top notch. They can fix virtually anything on any RV or camper or anything. They're great people, and you're going to love the experience. That's probably my favorite part. They're good, honest people running a good, honest company, giving you a great deal on whatever RV you need. And if you haven't been in the RV realm, you got to do it. If you've got younger kids, Suzanne and I had our first pop-up in fifth wheel when our kids were young. We did everything. We did the Ozarks. We did Legoland. We did Oklahoma, different lakes there. We did, you name it, we did it with the kids. It's great family time together. Grandparents, maybe it's something you can get your kids so your grandkids can take advantage of it. With all the phones and all the tablets now, RVing's the way to go, and Lazy Days is the place to buy. Check them out, lazydaysrv.com. No, I'm sorry, lazydays.com. That's lazydays.com. Maybe Eric Reinemir, if we can get him.
What? Right.
I'm not going to have. Most people that are disabled are going to fall into a standard deduction only.
Well, these are blind people. I think blind people. I could get more information, but he's just wondering about organizations out there that help people like that.
I'm just saying I don't even know if they need to file taxes. So that's why I would like Eric on, or Mallory, or anybody.
All right.
If you're blind and disabled, I doubt you make over $25,000 a year.
Where my angle was to get the call out on the air to see if any listeners know of organizations that help disabled people with that stuff.
All right.
I don't mind getting Eric on. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll let you know
I think
as
you're
soon as we get
overthinking it. That's all.
I can't get over the size of that one puzzle.
What is it? The world's largest puzzle? World's largest puzzle.
It's called that too.
God. Oh, what a wonder. Oh, it's $750.
Yeah. No, you're not getting it. That can't be the most pieces, though, by any stretch.
I do think I have a Dowdle puzzle, though, that I don't think I've done. It's sitting there waiting.
Here's one that's all white.
Oh, I would not enjoy that. I would not enjoy an all white or an all black or clear. Dragon and I were looking at clear puzzles.
Oh, here we go. Jigsaw puzzle facts. What is the largest jigsaw puzzle with the most pieces? According to the Guinness Book of World Records, the jigsaw puzzle with the most pieces measured 14 by 23 millimeters or meters. And consisted of, ready for this? Let me just say jaw-dropping. 551,232 pieces.
I'd be dead by the time I finished.
Now,
that.
how about if you started on it and got all the way to the end and it was missing a fucking piece?
Costco had that one you were just looking at for $750. They had that back in October for $600.
What was the one you got through that you were missing a piece?
Oh, it's just a movie puzzle, different movies through the, like Star Wars. And
I got caught doing that, though.
Doing what?
Teasing somebody and hiding one of the pieces.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did, Kevin. Kevin, I'm going to put you in timeout right now.
I thought it was hysterical, but apparently it wasn't.
Did you finally give it up?
Well, yeah, I let it go for probably longer than I should have. That's why I got
Did they tear the puzzle up?
That would have been funny.
No, they tried to tear me up. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know it could get that bad, but it did.
This made me think of something else. The Jenga Giant. You ever played Jenga?
Jenga.
Jenga.
Yeah.
5 feet tall. Jenga Giant. I bet there's bigger ones. I bet someone's done a Jenga. Maybe not officially a Jenga, but the same game that's, you got to use like a forklift to move stuff. Do you like puzzles?
Not really.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
How about reading?
When I actually make the time to it, I enjoy it, but I don't.
When's the last time you read a book, a whole book?
10 seconds.
On a plane.
Trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. You know that bumper music right there? Every time I hear that, it reminds me of Cheech and Chong. Every single time. It's like so ingrained.
Why do you think it's Cheech and
I know
Chong?
that's not right.
Ingrained. Yes.
Shut up, Savvy, or whoever's on YouTube. There goes Mark's diction again.
The dictionary.
I mean, did you watch those growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I want to go to Brent Ivinson. Brent, hey, we had a caller, and Tracy says, I got a second, and the second is moving all the time. It's going up and down. It's probably tied to LIBOR or something. She got it through a bank. It was $20,000. She owes 17 on it. Her first mortgage, Brent, has a interest rate that's really low. It's like 2 something. You know, with the exception of the idea that I came up with, which are these credit card companies that'll send you these checks where you have, 6 months, a year to pay no interest. She could pay her normal payment now and put that extra $150 each month towards principal and slowly work it down that way. But can you think of any products right now off the top of your mind that would benefit Tracy?
Yeah, the only thing she may want to look into is maybe a closed-end second mortgage to see if she can get a little bit better interest rate than what she's paying on that HELOC. The HELOCs are tough because, as you know, they're tied to prime, and prime is at the highest level it's been in, recent memory. And so, and to your point before we went to break, yeah, you've got the Fed talking again that, hey, if inflation picks back up, we could be hiking rates further, which is going to raise interest rates on credit cards, home equity lines of credit, all those things. So, it's for a while there, it looked like we were out of the woods, but now we're starting to see some things coming a little bit hot, and that's got the Fed talking hawkishly again.
Hold on, let me. I want to follow up on something else with you. I want to go back to that, but I want to ask Tracy. Tracy, do you got any other questions for Brent? But I mean, really, you're in the best place I think you're going to be.
I think I'm going to go to check out, what were the names of those credit card companies you had mentioned?
So
Barclay?
the one I just got an offer from was Capital One. They said, I've got existing accounts with them, but they wanted me to move other accounts. I just don't have any to move over to them. And I think it was either a 6 month, but I think it was a 1 year deal, and it was at 1%. So, I mean, that would save you a ton in interest, as long as you're disciplined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I am. No,
yeah, go to Capital One. Amex does them all the time, too. In fact, if you go to American Express and see their different cards, they have offers all the time they send me as well for either lines of credit or for loans. And I've never looked into them, but I get the offers a lot.
I will do that.
All right.
All right, Mark. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, Tracy. I appreciate it, and I'm glad we could help. Brent, I want you to be as honest as the day is long. With the exception of having massive credit card debt, what's the maximum credit cards can charge now by law?
I believe it's 28% is the maximum they can
and a
charge.
lot of them do it. And so if you're paying 28% on a bunch of credit cards and you're paying 15% on a car loan, even if you have to refi out of a 3% loan to go into 7%, if you take, what I love about math is it doesn't lie. If you actually look at the amount you're saving, even though you're going to a higher interest rate, it's massive dollars. There's absolutely no doubt to it. But what I want to ask you, man, is a little deeper into that. Where is credit card debt going in this country? I remember before the crash of 2008, 2010, the first thing you started hearing about was car loans. Everybody was upside down in their cars. Their $15,000 used car was now only worth $5,000. And they get into an accident. Now they don't have a car. They have a $15,000 loan to pay off of. Then it was the credit card default. Then after the cars and credit cards, what was it, Brent? The big one.
The mortgage. It was
the mortgage.
The entire mortgage meltdown.
The biggest collapse I think we've ever seen in this country. And I'm looking at where we're going now. Tell us about credit card debt. My understanding, it's higher than ever.
Yeah, your credit card, again, we hit the highest balance of credit card debt ever in this country last month.
Oh, my God.
Ever. So it is look, I think what you have is with higher prices, with inflation, with people trying to manage budgets, you have more and more people turning to credit and putting things on credit cards and trying to get by that way. And it is a vicious cycle, Mark.
It's
is
horrible.
Impossible to get ahead. The money is compounded daily. It's really tough.
I'm going to tell people a quick story I went through. Suzanne and I, when we first moved in together, it was, 35 years ago, whatever it was, we had a cake route. And I had a check stolen from me that was a money order I didn't fill out. I learned a big lesson there. I didn't fill in the name, so I basically lost $1,500. And that's about twice a week I would buy cakes from the Flowers Bakery for about $1,500 twice a week, so $3,000 a week, and then we'd resell them to grocery stores all around Kansas and Oklahoma. But losing that check put me in a bind that was unbelievable. Plus, we had some issues with the truck, our cake route truck, at the same time. So I had a piece of equipment from my guitar. In fact, I still remember the name of it. It was a Korg A3, and it was a signal processor for a guitar, like a pedal, but very extravagant, especially back then. So I would go up to a payday loan place once a week, Brent, once a week, and I'd basically pawn this thing. It would be the collateral, and they'd give me $1,000 or whatever I needed to buy my cakes. And I got into a vicious cycle that took me almost a year to get out of. And there's no difference between a pawn store loan or a title loan and credit card debt. There's absolutely no difference. All you're doing is trying to make the payment you can make and then borrow from somewhere else to make another payment. And just going to what you said, I have a feeling we're going to see a big collapse in the next year. A big problem, and I think the only people that are going to make out are bankruptcy attorneys.
Hey, what are the 20 and 30-year mortgages?
Keep going, Brent.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Mark. You're going to see, this is all going to eventually catch up with everybody. And, you bring up a great point earlier. The math tells the story. I think so many people out there are so attached to that low mortgage rate they got during COVID, and they don't realize that what you've got to look at is all the interest you're paying. And that's why we've got salary-based lending specialists who will walk you through the math, because the math tells the entire story. Either the math makes sense or it doesn't.
It doesn't lie.
And if it doesn't, you stay where you're at. And if it
in
does,
California, it can be
prejudiced,
but other than that, it's not. It doesn't lie. And what Brent's really saying is, if you are in debt right now and just want to know what's your best way to go, you call up Ideal. I mean, I'm kind of turning this into a commercial, but I love these guys. Say, hey, here's the real deal. I've got $10,000 in credit card debt. We owe this on this car. We owe this for medical bills. Here's our mortgage. I mean, give it. Just spill it all out. They're going to do all the calculations for you. You're spending this much on interest each month, this much on interest each year. This is what your debt service is. This is what your cash flow is. They'll even tell you, hey, it's not sustainable. There's no way you could continue this. If you lose a job or get cut back, or if anything happens, your car breaks down, you're going to be in trouble. And they can tell you what they can do. Or, Brent, to be honest, you might tell them there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I mean, look, we tell you you're in the best possible scenario you could be in, and so, stay where you're at, because that's what sometimes makes the most sense.
So listen, the other thing with your industry is, I don't care what anybody says, your industry went to hell, man. You guys were feasting like crazy when rates are around 2%. People were cashing out for next to nothing, buying boats and cars. Everybody was living the high life. And then your industry, man, you guys... feast or famine, you guys, the famine's crazy. But the good news, I believe, in your industry is we're to the point now where people have to move. They have to refinance. They have to upgrade their house because they have babies coming. They have to move because their work's doing. So if you do want a good loan, you call up Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000. Brent and his guys will help you out, 303-867-7000. And like he said, salaried. So these people aren't making a commission on you. They're only doing what's right. 303-867-7000. Hey, Brent, I don't want to say the name, but Suzanne and I were sitting in one of our favorite steakhouses. We go there on Fridays a lot, Perry's, by the mall. And I sent you a picture of one of your big competitors that's on TV, or used to be on TV a lot. I haven't seen him anywhere. Is he still around?
He is still around on a limited basis, and and he does hang out there, because I've run into you guys there, and I've run into him there as well.
Yeah,
I think he's
he had
limited
he had his wife on his left and his girlfriend on his right, I think.
Hey, Mark, I get hey, Brent.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Doc. What are the current 20 and 30-year fixed mortgage rates now?
Yeah, that's a good question, Doc.
So your current 30-year fixed rate today is still holding on at 6.875%. Now, depending on where the 10-year closes, because it looks like we might breach the 50-day moving average today, we might see things move up to that 7% mark.
Yep.
On market open on Monday, but right now you're just under 7%, and then your 20-year rate's about 6 5/8.
Hey, before I met Brent, I've got a couple good Brent stories, but this one was even better. Before I met him, I used this mortgage guy in Parker. I think his name was Lance. Was it Lance?
Vince.
Suzanne? Vince. And I love Vince. I mean, me and Vince got along. Vince is like kind of like this New Yorker kind of guy, and he's kind of a loudmouth, and we got along good, you can imagine. So I meet Brent, and I start getting back with Martino, and I'm doing the show, and I'm meeting Brent. And I said, yeah, do you know Vince? And Brent goes, I got to show you something. I'm not going to say Vince's last name. Don't say it. But it's still funny as hell. I'll show you how far the mortgage business has come. So he pulls up YouTube and types in the guy's name. First thing that comes up is this video. He is dressed like Crazy Larry, who sells electronics in Philadelphia. And he is running around like in a chicken costume going, rates are falling, the sky's falling. Blah. I mean, I have never seen a mortgage sold like that. I'm used to a professional commercial like Ideal and all of his competitors. But back in the day, Brent, that's how you guys would sell mortgages, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's how everyone sold mortgages, but,
it was like the Shag Man selling mortgages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vince and I worked at the same company when I first got into the business right out of college before I started Ideal Home Loans in 2001. And he is a creative individual, as you and I both know.
Oh, man. I do. I wonder if he's still around. I haven't talked to him for years. Brent, I appreciate it. I got to take a break. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. You can go to idealhomeloans.com. Check him out. But anything you need, your next Ideal Home Loan, check out Ideal Home Loans.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Leland.
Yeah, he's
selling mortgages.
Car stereos.
Crazy Eddie was a big thing in New York.
It was huge in Jersey.
Yeah, well, same New York to Jersey.
He owned the TV at night.
Yeah, and it was all electronics.
I'm cutting prices.
Normal slowdowns into downtown I-25 northbound, some slower speeds between Alameda and Colfax. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies. We've already reached our high of 30 degrees, overnight low of 11. Tomorrow a bit warmer, high of 40, mostly cloudy. Temperature 33 degrees. We do our test traffic and weather. Mark Swan, 6:30.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of General Robert E. Lee's life after his surrender at Appomattox. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Hey, if you haven't had your house checked after all the hail this year and after the winter stuff for damage, you need to have it checked out. If you're in a neighborhood where you're seeing any roofs getting replaced, you need to get it checked out. I want you to call Genesis Total Exteriors, Mark Szymanski. Here's what I love about Genesis. They're going to come out and they're going to check the roof, of course, but beyond that, and maybe you already had the roof done because of hail damage, but that's all the insurance company paid for. Mark's going to come out for free. He's going to look at the deck. He's going to look at the patio. He's going to look at the landscaping. He's going to look at the siding. He's going to look at the outbuildings. He's going to look at the doors. And I'm going to tell you one that the insurance companies hate for you to look at. You have someone like Mark come out and look at your windows. When hail hits those windows, it can break the seals. Doesn't break the glass. In fact, you got to know what you're doing to see if those windows, and windows on one side of your house could be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. It's massive money you might have left on the table. And once again, if you never had anybody look at it, Mark can look at the entire thing. There's no cost to it. It's 100% free, but make sure you get it done. Most people have 365 days, 1 year to get that claim in. Don't let the year pass, and all of a sudden you find out you had storm damage, and now you got to come out of pocket. Call up Genesis Total Exteriors, 303-679-8509, 303-679-8509. Now, let me tell you about Keel and Park. They're estate planners who give their clients a peace of mind. They're going to cover every aspect of your estate plan, whether it's a simple will or a complex will. Maybe you have a trust, whether revocable or irrevocable. Maybe you have nothing and you don't know what you need. Maybe you have kids that were very young at the time you did your will. Now they're in their teenage years or off to college. These are different life-changing events where you generally should redo your will. For example, you might want to leave a 35-year-old $1 million if you have it to leave it, but you might not want to leave a 19-year-old $1 million if you pass away because they'll blow through it. You might need a trust, but you can call up Keel and Park. They'll go over everything. They have flat rate pricing. They'll sit down with you over the phone, a Zoom, in person, talk to you. They're going to figure out the best options for you. They'll present them, and they'll tell you how much it's going to cost to put it all together. That's why we love these guys. 970-818-8198. Quit putting it off. Maybe you got divorced, and now you have a blended family. You have different kids here and different kids there. Call these guys up. Get your estate in order. 970-818-8198 or lawkp.com.
Crazy Eddie ended up in jail, didn't he?
Did he really?
Yeah. There was all kinds of fraud and stuff with that story.
Remember Leapin' Larry? Seinfeld, Leapin' Larry. They took so many real life things.
Mm-hmm. Soup Nazi's still my favorite.
Soup Nazi's a great episode. No soup for you.
Mark, I put the 3 house spots that still are due under spot break.
Is that Mike Rosen?
Oh.
Yep.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yep.
Hello?
Wow.
Can you just look one clear pro bid in Denver region for your house?
Got it.
There is an 888, but maybe you did that when you did the other one. I don't know.
I can't believe Rosen's doing a spot. Does Brown do him?
They want him. Rather than somebody who actually works on the station,
That's odd.
they want him. Yeah.
I mean, there is a part of the population that remembers him pretty well.
Yeah.
He was on for what, 20?
Maybe even longer.
I remember when he filled in years ago for Rush. I listened to that whole show. He did a pretty good job. And back in the day, those are some big fucking shoes, man. What is an AT4, Kevin?
It's like the Silverado. It's just an updated version. They're having a lot of trouble with those. We got one in the shop now. It's 21 with 22,000 miles. The motor's no good. And it's online. You can see them everywhere.
I never got myself into a really bad car deal. Well, I bought a minivan. I bought a Kia minivan for Suzanne. Probably.
That was the worst vehicle I ever owned.
She hated it. Yeah, she absolutely hated it. Once again, it was the love of my life. She never had a new car. I wanted to buy her
something. Just stick with the vacuum
nice.
cleaners and frying pans.
The first new car you bought me was when Miles was born. It was a Hyundai Elantra, remember?
Yeah, the little gray one.
And then we got the Kia when Addie was born.
I said, honey, you look like you could use a bigger vehicle.
Yeah. I wanted a Dodge Durango with a skull hitch, and that's what I got.
10 seconds.
We'll lighten it up a little bit. Wall Street Journal says stay-at-home girlfriends is an exploding phenomenon. We'll hear from one. I'll tell you why I think it's a bad idea. Join me at 4.
You know, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear why Dan Kaplis. Dan, I hope you're listening, man. I'm dying to know, and I'm going to tune in, why you think a stay-at-home girlfriend is a bad idea. Now, okay, is it just me or is that common sense when it comes to Dan, right? Am I nuts here?
Pretty obvious, really.
Is there any real-life world where Dan would think it's a good idea to have a stay-at-home girlfriend? I just don't know. Then again, I don't know the definition. When I hear a stay-at-home girlfriend, I literally thought, and I could be wrong, I was thinking a guy that was married that had a girlfriend like in a condo or somewhere that just stays at home. I wasn't thinking just a girlfriend that's like a stay-at-home mom but stays at home with no kids. So that would make a big difference. You know, I miss back in the day. I love doing this show. In fact, I'm very passionate about helping people. But I do miss doing late night KOA. There was stuff we could do late night KOA that was just fun. I mean, I can't put it any other way. Hey, by the way, One Clear Choice Doors, I want to give a shout out to these guys. Our door broke. Our spring came loose. In fact, I'm glad I wasn't in the room. It looked like it could have killed somebody. We couldn't open or close the doors. They have 24/7 emergency service. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. And if you're looking for a new opener, a belt-driven, quiet one, you're sick of that old one with that noisy chain, everybody in the neighborhood can hear you open the door. These guys have them all, starting at under $400 installed on some of these double door openers, and they even have stuff less than that. 24/7 emergency service, beautiful new garage doors openers, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Simple as that. Now, Jeff, I promise I'll go to you after this, but it's car day. I'm going to take Alex real quick. Alex has a problem or a question on a GMC. Alex, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Okay, so I got a HT4, it's a GMC Sierra, and it's a diesel, and it's got a push-button start.
What year is it?
23. And the question is, you know, the old trucks, you got the glow plug, and this one, it just starts. You know, I thought you had to warm up the glow plug and then start it up in the cold weather.
You know, Kevin, so for like my big bus, I mean, I got to let that glow plug
You got to let
up.
it go, yeah.
So
I think the computer does that. It should delay it. You know, when you go to start it, you should see it delayed, no?
Now, when you manually start it, when you push the button, it starts right away. But when you use your phone to start it, I guess it delays a little bit because I'm in the house.
Yeah, I think that's because of the remote start. But here's what I'm reading. This is interesting. It's not talking about yours specifically, but it says some modern diesel engines use other technologies, such as intake air heaters or advanced fuel injection systems, to achieve similar results without the need for glow plugs.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's pretty cool. Heated air, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That would actually, because glow plugs eventually go bad, don't they?
Yeah, it's like any other part. It'll wear out. But yeah, it probably hadn't gotten cold enough to use them. Some of them just don't need them anymore.
You know, that's a good question, man. I mean, it looks like yours might have that. I just refer to the manual on it. I'm sure it doesn't bother you, right? Don't you like that?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's just I thought all diesels had a glow plug.
Well, as long as it starts and runs, you don't need the glow plugs.
Every one I have ever, even my tractor has to warm up.
Sure.
Every diesel I've ever owned. I never thought they had anything else, but man, who knows? I'm
Can I
waiting
ask
for
another
the all-electric tractor.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that's not happening anytime.
You're going to have a battery
Can I
size
ask
of your
another
house.
question?
Yeah, you can.
So I got a 2008 F-250 diesel, and it runs good. It's been running good. But when I'm going down the road, every now and then it'll just shoot a puff of smoke for about 2-3 seconds, and then it quits, and I'll run it for 100 miles, and then it'll do it again every now and then. Any thoughts on that?
That could be a number of things. Does it use oil at all? Do you have to add oil to it?
No. And there's no lights on the dash there.
Yeah, without any direction, that's going to be a hard one to figure out.
Just get it over to them. I mean, that's what these guys do, man. You do diagnostics, figure out what's going on with it. You know, it is what it is, right, Kevin? I mean, a lot of times you got to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to, see what color smoke, see how much smoke, and a lot of different things.
I love this email I got. This is no crap. Conrad, his name's Conrad. He listens to me or listens to us in Boulder. Conrad McCarty, Boulder. So it says, "Hi, Mark. Appreciate you sharing the info about the annuity you were considering, I'm going to reach out to Joe at Become the Banker. But then he goes on to say this separately. I did contract for solar through ProBid. Good pricing, good people. System isn't live yet. We're waiting on Excel, but we're really ready for this to go. Thumbs up to ProBid is now, I expect to stay that way once the system is live. You know, I love when people give us feedback about companies they use. ProBid Energy is a great company. These guys are local. They do the sales aspect, the install aspect. They do everything. They don't just outsource solar systems. They actually repair solar systems that other people installed. They can repair almost anything out there. So if you had a solar system put on years ago and it hasn't been working, well, get it working. All you got to do is call up ProBid. And they have this system for $21,000 that includes a battery backup, a complete solar system on most homes. Of course, it has to do with size, but $21,000 after you get all the tax credits. It's really crazy. But call them up, anything solar, probidenergy.com, probidenergy.com, or 844-4PROBID.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Guys, hang on. Let's try to squeeze you in real quick. I've never heard of a car engine heater.
East of there and heading to DIA I-70 eastbound, you're going to start seeing some busy traffic at Havana all the way to Pena Boulevard. North of there, some good news for our Commerce City drivers. I-270 westbound, recent accident in left lane has been all cleared up. Easy driving on 270 westbound. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, skies cooler than yesterday. High.
Good, sir.
There's pizza, Jeff. If you well, it looks like you brought your own, but there is pizza if you want some.
Oh, great, thank you.
Got Anthony's Pizza, extra cheese.
Oh, nice. I love Anthony's. It's so good.
What do you have there anyway?
I get like pepperoni. Oh,
You know, when I do spots, I look at bullet points. I don't like read from a script, but I like that because of the people we talk about, we come to know. And I'm hoping to really get to know RKC Automotive. They've been around over 25 years. They work on anything, domestic cars, foreign cars, old cars, new cars, you name it. They do everything from major engine work, transmission work, to brakes and alternators, starters. Big and small, they do it all. That's their motto. RKC Automotive, 2120 West Evans, just west of Tejon, and they're on the south side right there. Check them out, though. Give them a call. Set an appointment, 720-749-3965. RKC Automotive, 720-749-3965. Now, that brings me into something. When I do,
your weight, little man.
I haven't used RKC yet. I used Kevin Calkins sitting next to me at Sheridan Auto
Just
Tech.
hanging around here.
I have used Frank Duran multiple times. Tom has used Frank Duran multiple times. You want the best realtor out there, you use Frank Duran. I know there's other commercials that play right here on this station claiming he sells more homes than anybody else. They're lying. I'm going to put it to you very straight. They're full of crap. If you hear that ad or anybody else saying they sell more homes than Frank Duran, they're lying. You know what doesn't lie? MLS and stats. Frank Duran sells more homes in 1 month, a lot more than most realtors sell in a year's plus period. You want the best bang for your buck? He comes out, he stages your house, he has it cleaned. It's all part of it. He advertises it correctly on different places, not just MLS. He spends money. He earns the commission. You want the best realtor? You want Frank Duran. FrankDuranHomes.com. Say it with me, FrankDuranHomes.com. Up.
We got 30 seconds coming back. We're coming back to the bumper.
Oh, I doubt Denver Region's getting done.
You can get it in the bumper.
You're so optimistic.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds. Say Denver Region. Thanks, Kev. Have a good weekend. Done.
Hey, John.
Wow, that was a
We
lot.
only have 20 seconds coming back, but I know my car guy would be
That
happy
was
to
a
give you a
lot.
call and tell you what he would suggest for an engine heater. You want me to text him your number to call you? Okay, hang on. Let me get his. Okay, it's Kevin Culkin with Sheridan. He'll steer you right here. Let's see, John. What's your phone number?
What does he mean, an engine heater? Oh, forget it.
What's that?
You're not listening to
No,
her.
I watched it. Yeah, engine heater.
Yeah, what is
block
it?
heater.
Oh, okay.
You plug it in, like a diesel. has
Yeah,
a
block heater.
Yeah.
Do you need it? I mean,
It's nice.
What?
I have it on my bus.
It's nice to have.
It's on right now.
Just it just speeds things up.
I didn't think it was cold enough to warrant one.
Da-da-da.
Negative 10's pretty cold, Doc.
Yeah, but it's only transitory.
Swear
it's
it's
not
been
like negative 10
That
for
frigid
a month.
temperatures last week last weekend.
Hey, are most snowmobiles, are they just gas?
Everything hurts. Everything.
They're not
hurts.
two-stroke, are they?
Some are.
I don't think they can make them anymore, even if they were.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like letting our puppies out for the 20 seconds for them to do their thing and come back. It just hurt my legs just opening the door, I felt bad for my. Yeah, especially if you got. Was your beard freezing out there? Of course. Just like I feel so bad for my animals when it's that cold. It's like.
Jamie
Get
Dimon
out
got a
there,
nice
do
little
your
bonus,
biz.
What's that?
Chase.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon. $36 million.
Crazy.
Is that what he got? He does a pretty good job, man.
Yep. I like listening to him. He's an interesting guy.
He's on CNBC a lot. No, I think he's very smart, actually.
But he's a straight shooter without being, direct or really tearing
Who's that?
anybody down. Jamie Dimon.
Chase CEO.
Mm.
I love his name. What a great name for a banker, right? Diamond.
Jamie Dimon won the World Series of Poker back in about 2000 and probably 12 or 13.
Wow.
But it wasn't him. It was a different Jamie Dimon.
Oh. I'm like, wow, that is fucking
He
impressive.
is well-rounded, yeah.
Oh, look, they landed on the moon. I didn't know that happened today. Or no. I don't know. There was no people in it.
No people.
Yeah, beavers.
So they're probably going to do with the moon what they did with Antarctica.
Set up a little station. Well, I went long, didn't I?
Yeah, you got about 30 seconds coming back.
I pulled a Tom.
I know.
It's
Very odd for you.
But you think about Germany and Japan, how totally we devastated.
All right, folks, listen, we'll see you next week. Remember, 303 Martino works on and off the air. Help at troubleshooter.com. Kevin Calkins, Sheridan Auto Tech. Best warranties in town. SheridanAutoTech.com. Thank you, Doc. See you guys Monday.
Ta-da!
We did Germany and Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and they become two of our best allies.
Yep.
There you go.
The only time that had any kind of static on that is when I was on the.
All right. You're in charge.
Did it shock you?
Wrote it down on accident. Okay.
No, but the one time it was real noticeable, and then I switched back to the program, and then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But it was like for like one segment, it wasn't anything.
Okay.
So hard to tell what.
Have a nice weekend, boys and girls. We'll see you Monday.
Later, Doc.
Kevin, we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keys, wallet, phone. If I got those three things, I'm okay.
And still, you get out there in the morning sometimes without one of them.
Everybody.
What's up?
How's everybody doing?
All weekend is starting right now.
That almost bounced out, brother.
Well, I wanted it to do that.
Oh yeah, okay. Hey, what's up? Okay. Can you have your wife pick you up tomorrow once you get the, like once you get to Bozeman tonight? Take it back. Can you take it back in Missoula?